Look at your color scheme. It's very autumn. Autumn.
Tried to be more of like feng shui, sort of, with like, you know, the corners of the chairs touching the rug, you know, kind of like weird shit.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, we are officially live. It's 7:02 right now. Welcome to Arm Wrestling Showcase number 30, the Big 3-0. And tonight, we are joined by my lovely wife, Malia Fontecchio, and our little baby Odette's with us this evening too. If she starts getting a little grumpy, maybe I'll take you all out to the music studio. We've got Little Bear. Grace is in the house. What's up?
Hi.
And we've got the Latonas, Jason Latona and Sarah Latona.
¿Cómo estás?
Yeah, bien. And Josh is in, but he's muted and he's taken off his video because he's walking through a grocery store right now shopping for cookies.
Oh,
That's important.
that's definitely.
He has a Christmas party tomorrow he's got to get set up for. So he'll be on in just a sec. Haley Sue Johnson will be on in a moment as well. And we just had Johnny Salami pop in here. What's up, Johnny? Can you hear us? All right, we'll get your audio sorted out. Send you a little thingy. It says to start your audio. It's not letting me. Okay. Well, yeah, if you can hear me, Johnny, just activate your audio. We can see you. We just can't hear you. All right. So how's everybody doing this evening?
Yeah, good.
Fantastic. So just before we got on, Jason was mentioning, okay, Grace, just pop over a little to your right. A little more to your right.
Wait. I gotta go this way. There we go.
And up.
Come towards the camera a little bit.
Yeah, towards the camera a little.
Exactly where you were sitting, and you
right
get
there. You're right there. Okay.
Pilgrim. Pilgrim.
Jason thought she
I still don't see it. Okay, Jason.
I love it.
Yeah, dude, if you can't see it, just look at the damn TV screen you're looking at. He's fucking wearing a pilgrim hat. It's like I said, I can't see my hat. Your hat looks more real than mine right now. Honestly, Kate, I'm doing this whole episode for your wife. I want to see how much I can make your wife laugh by me not talking about anything that's to do with arm wrestling. So on the subject of arm wrestling, I'm going to say some kooky ass shit and bring it over to your wife, Leah.
Yeah.
Baby.
I love it. That's our kind of show.
All right, yeah, it'll be way better. The reviews will be you'll get twice as many views. You'll have 6 views.
Yeah. She jokes sometimes like, how do you guys have a show about arm wrestling for like 4 hours? Like, what do you talk about? How do you talk about arm wrestling?
Yeah, I'm wasted right now. I've been pounding these Sunkist Zeros all night. I don't care what they say. It says 0 sugar, 0 alcohol. These things are loaded with both. 2 Sunkist. I'm fat and wasted.
Johnny, it looks like you're unmuted now.
Am I unmuted now?
All right, there you are. How's it going, Johnny?
Yeah. It's going okay. Now that I figure out how to unmute myself.
Good. Right on. Well,
Johnny, did they bury him alive? He looks like he's coming live from a fucking coffin. It looks like he's buried alive.
I am. I was trying to make it home. Before the podcast. I just couldn't quite make it. So I'm actually in my car.
Yeah. Look like you were in a box. It's like if you need help, just say a word. We'll drive over.
Before I called 911. So
All right, good. That makes me feel better. I was clenching my butt cheek.
Well, we'll be on. So do what you got to do. Like if you have to hop off till you get home, that's no problem. But Johnny, it was a pleasure meeting you last Saturday in person. You are a top-notch dude, and your hands are like massive and very strong.
It was very, very nice meeting you guys as well. I've seen you pull up in person. Boy, wow, you were incredible puller, Kane. I didn't know you were so good, boy. You sure pulled enough matches. I don't know how many matches you had. But it was great fun, man. Great fun. It was great to meet you, and yeah, it was really. I appreciate you giving me the match with old Tank there. That was cool too.
Yeah,
More the merrier. I really enjoy it.
yeah, that was pretty awesome to pop in and go against Jeremy the Tank Petrenko last minute. Yeah, his opponent was Waldo Saldana, who I'm a big fan of. Waldo. He's an amazing talent. I guess
He lived up to his name though. Nobody could find him at the damn arm wrestling contest.
Where is Waldo?
We're like, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? People were like, I don't fucking know. Shit.
It was bad luck. Yeah, we lost two big competitors for the super matches on that event. We lost ET and we lost Waldo.
Well, they're not dead, right? I mean, like, you're still with us. Like,
yeah. We didn't find him, right?
Yeah, yeah. They seem to be doing okay. What's up, Haley?
Hey, what's going on?
Good to see you. You snuck right on in here.
I did. Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, no problem. No problem. No problem at all. It was really good meeting you. It was really awesome watching your match with Grace.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I really look up to both of you. Your talents, your skills, your strength. And the match was just so close. Both matches, the right and the left, I feel like, you're both kind of looking for the key to get what you wanted. And I was really, since I like both of you, I was really happy to see Grace get one on the right, and you got
good job, Grace. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You both got wins for the day. Yeah.
Good job on the left. I couldn't even match that if I wanted to. And it was very impressive watching you and Stephanie go at it too.
That was a fun one. Yeah, I was surprised by my left too, because we were so close in San Diego, but I was like, I know my left has better than that. So it surprised me. I was like, yay. Came out of nowhere.
Awesome. Yeah, we got Don Mormon is in the chat. Hey, what's up, Don? He did really well in the tournament.
Yeah,
he's just getting better and better. Some of the people he got wins on, for example, Christian, I know some of the guys that we like, most of us were having a really hard time with. He was at least given a match, but Christian, the majority of us, I feel like in the 165 class, the majority, not all, have a real hard time with that guy's press. He's got it really dialed in. So I was really impressed to see you handle that, Don. That was really cool. However, I must say Christian was pulling up a class for that as well. Yeah, Christian's a beast. I'm a big Christian Zepeda fan. So what did you guys? Yeah, right. What did you guys think of the Kringle Pull event? In general.
You want me to go first because I'm the highest?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Go for it.
No, it was really good. But really different than what I thought it was going to be. I mean, even initially, the compound and Christian, they put on a couple events, and they've been in like certain gyms. So every match I ever saw them do was gym. And so when I saw them setting up the stage and everything like that, I was like, wait, this is outside. And they, kind of told us what it was, like a Cliff Notes version of what it was, over text and stuff like that. But I thought it was a really cool idea. Again, for me, I think anytime you're trying to expose the sport outside of the 25 people that watch every event, it's a good thing. And, and that's the thing. Arm wrestling is in a weird stage where jiu-jitsu was like it a few years ago. MMA was like it maybe 15, 20 years ago, where the only people that watched the thing were the people who did the thing. And, and it's very important that we get outside of that, and I'm sure, there's a lot of people with great ideas, but for me, that was cool. I'm not that little event's going to change much, but again, it's anytime you can get people who typically don't show up to an arm wrestling tournament. I mean, let's be honest. And how many of our friends go, hey, there's an arm wrestling competition, I'm going to go watch it. You know what I mean? Like no one ever, probably ever has said that in the history of Earth. But, you know, you can maybe go watch a football game or a boxing match or whatever it is. But like I said, our sport, much like a lot of sports when they're starting off, even though our sport's not, you know, new, but it is new to the realms of social media and that type of exposure. And so, you know, yeah, at the end of the day, you know, that's what it needs to happen in any event that is pushing, you know, to me toward that goal of, hey, getting other people who don't do the sport interested in the sport at least, and then possibly telling people, you know, hey, my friend's doing it, so I'll watch. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you watch an event, if you have someone, you know, Haley, oh, my cousin's, you know, like, gonna watch me do it. Well, maybe she'd never watch arm wrestling, but because she knows it's a match you're in, and you know it's a friend, or maybe they watch it, you know. So yeah, but a lot of fun. Happy to be a part of it. Good matches, stuff like that. I thought Harold did a great job, and Reese did a great job at the brackets, and you know, I thought the whole thing with Jamie and I wish they would have made it big of a thing. That's my only critique. You know, make it more of a back and forth thing, and you know, I mean, Sarah talking on some ideas and stuff, but. Overall, like I said, fun to be a part of it. It was really cute. And I hate to use the word cute in arm wrestling at the same time, except like I think I'm cute and I arm wrestle. But you know what I mean. It was a tender-hearted event, and it was nice. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said. The one ingredient that you speak of that I think has in common with in terms of California tournaments, 3 that I can think of. That I really like, being the High Desert tournament, which you were also a part of, both of you, and then the Apricot Festival, which I haven't attended. I've just heard a lot of great things about it. And then, of course, the LA Fit Expo. Yeah, all of those things have in common the fact that, you're exposing the event itself is exposed to a much broader event. Where there's all kinds of foot traffic and stuff. And I agree, that's a very important factor. There was all kinds of people from, the area that came to drop in. This event has been happening yearly just for the Christmas lights, the toy drive, and all that stuff. So it was really cool to get people dropping in for that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, on that note, and I don't want to hijack the whole thing, but, it's interesting because what's funny about our sport is I actually don't know anyone who tries it that kind of doesn't get hooked on it, male or female. Like, if they legitimately like try it, not like, all right, here, okay, you're strong. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like actually like make an investment and go, okay, what is this? And then they feel another person. They feel that resistance. They feel that my will against your will without anyone actually hurting somebody. You know what I'm saying? And they become addicted to that. But what's interesting is, or the hard part is, getting them to do it. But it's like, I bet if you would look at the conversion rate for arm wrestling, it's probably really, really high. Maybe 80 to 90%, depending on how many, people you have. But do the math within your own little groups. How many people do you expose to the sport actually end up doing it and then sticking with it? Like, it's probably pretty high. Comparing to like, hey, how many people like try Taekwondo or I don't know, you know what I mean, bear wrestling or whatever the hell other sport you could possibly do, CrossFit. You go one workout and you're like, oh, I'm done, But arm wrestling, it's like people like enjoy it. But the problem is, and I'll get to that if you really want to know what it is. But the problem is getting someone, and it's in our verbiage, as a lot of our arm wrestlers do, is they say, hey, come beat the champ. These people making YouTube videos. ET does it. I love ET, but what he's doing is not going to grow the sport, and I'll tell you why. Is because of the way he's saying it. Come beat the champ. See if anyone can beat me. See if anyone. I'm so strong. Nobody can beat me. Then it instantly turns. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say my husband dislikes arm wrestling because of ET and his videos and stuff like that.
Okay, this is proving my point, and I'm not saying that that's extreme, but I get it.
Yeah.
But it's in the verbiage. As soon as I say "come challenge me" or "come beat me," but it's a verb, it's a thing. People inside of you, whether you know it or not, you instantly go, I don't know. Now there's people like, I wish a motherfucker would. right? And then there's the people who are like, I don't want to be confrontational. Now, if I have the arm wrestling table up and I say, let me teach you. Interesting. Now, all of a sudden, it's not about me improving my dominance. It's let me show you, let me teach you, let me educate you on what this is. And the problem is, in my opinion, is you got a lot of people making a lot of videos, looking how strong I am. And that's cool for us. But to a regular person who's maybe introverted or more gentle or whatever, it looks abrasive. And it looks like these people are doing their thing and I don't want to be embarrassed and lose. But if you say, I'm going to teach you how to do it, all of a sudden, I guarantee you're going to have people that normally wouldn't do it under a try me, you know what I mean, challenge aspect, but they'll actually do it under a sake of like, oh, this is really cool. So that's what it is. People are afraid, man, you know, and you got to make them unafraid. It sounds gay, but, gay, but, shit.
Well, the Grizzly, Casey Stevens in the chat says, what sells to people is why can this small guy beat the huge guy? That's what got me in, he says.
That works a lot as
Go
a
ahead.
woman. That works for me a lot as a woman.
Mhm.
That same concept where I can hold these guys that can, deadlift 600 pounds center table, and they're like, how are you doing that?
Right.
I'm good at that sport. And it's one of those things where they're like, they'll either be like, never doing that again, or they go, teach me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't want to be embarrassed by
A lot
a
of people
strong
don't wanna
guy
be
getting beat
embarrassed.
by a girl or a
Yeah.
big guy being beat by a small guy.
Yeah.
You're right.
A lot of people are scared to ask for you to teach
That's
them.
true.
Exactly.
And Grizzly's
Yeah.
right. He's like, that is appealing.
He's right.
But he's saying it like he's not, I think he's saying something I agree with too. That is what's appealing, I think, to all of us, is everyone in the group is proportionately way stronger than people think we are.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of cool superpower you have with arm wrestling, It's like, and again, people judge it as like a strength test. It is, but it's a very specific skill / strength / coordination. But to an average person, when you grow up, you're like, oh, dude, I can arm wrestle you. People don't walk around with bench presses going, hey, dude, how strong are you? Hold on, let me set this up. But this can always happen. And, but it's the thing that appeals. What I'm saying is I'm talking about getting it. And Grizzly's, listen, this comes from a dude who gets smacked in the face and slaps other people. He clearly intimidated. But what I'm saying is it appeals to him, but I'm talking about getting the people who would typically not be confrontational. And there's a lot of them.
Yep. Now I see it in two, I don't want to say two different perspectives. To me, it's one perspective, but I believe that his draw is a particular crowd, and I value that crowd because the majority of them are more fans of arm wrestling
Yeah.
than arm wrestlers.
We're
all arm wrestlers here. So let me give you an example. So ET was on the show the few days before, maybe the week before the Kringle Pull, and the interesting thing about this particular show is it's primarily just arm wrestlers that watch. Devin Larrick goes live or somebody else go live. It's going to be a lot of people that they might be in strength sports. They might not be in any of it. They're watching because they're fans of it and the shenanigans and all kinds of fun stuff that is put through those channels. But so what happened was when ET came on, he's got millions of subscribers and, following and stuff like that. And that didn't relate at all to this channel. It was another show for us because it was just this small arm wrestling community watching. Had it been more of his type of content, it would have been, a lot of different people watching. But I value those type of people because, like other sports that have success and sponsors behind them, they have fans,
don't take anything. I fucking love ET.
Thing.
And I think everything he does is fucking great. I'm just mad I didn't fucking think of it. But no, I get that. Well, here's an interesting question, Kane. I'd like to know, and I don't know if you asked him this or I didn't watch the thing with you and ET, but but you said something interesting. So he has all these followers, which I know he has, and this is not a bash question. This is like a legitimate, like, I'd love to know the data question. So he has all these followers and everything like that. He comes on a show that's obviously, like, you know, he said, very not only niche, not, you know, like, oh my God, it's like you got like 50 million people on your, you know, channel and everything like that. But you would think with his following to say, hey, join me live 7 o'clock on Thursday, there would be a percentage of people that would come over to do that. So if they weren't there, my question is, well, then why not? And that's not a bash question. I'm just curious. You know what I'm saying?
I think that what his brand and what he does on his channel, it's very surgical. You know, if you ever like talk to him about, you know, his process and everything like that, it's very mathematical. He kind of works out the algorithm and everything like that, and how to reach these people. And I'm real glad for that, because he really does have the recipe with the content that he puts out. You know, and if I put out something on my channel, then that has him on it, I'm primarily reaching, you know, my subscribers. Unless he goes out on a mountaintop and says, everybody go to this, you know, all of my followers go check this out, then a small percentage of them would. But it's not really, you know, that would have been cool in terms of getting the Kringle Pull some boost. But, you know, that's part of, you know, my content isn't a part of the Whisperer brand, you know, and if I was in a position,
I understand. Okay.
and that's not what he told me. That's just, I'm just, you know, using half of a brain to kind of, you know,
I understand what you're
source
saying.
out.
Okay. Then
if I was in his position, it would be a thing that you would add into your audience and stuff like that. But that's another cool thing I like about, you know, there's the Whisperer and there's ET, you know, and ET is a competitive arm wrestler. He's a bad dude in the 165s in California. He's a tough dude to arm wrestler. So
I would have seen him in Caleb.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a great.
Yeah, selfishly, that was one of the things.
I think it would have been an amazing match to see those two go at it.
When Christian asked us if we wanted to go, and he said, you know, hey, would you, you know, Sarah Ref, would you want to, you know, call the shots? And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, selfishly was like, I'd love to call that match, because again, I like both guys so much. You know, ET's a friend, Caleb's a friend, and you know, like, yeah, I favor both of them for different things. You know, different things. You know, I did a live and I did a prediction of the match and what I thought how the match was going to look. But I was really excited to see, you know, them too. And it's, you know, it sucks, but you know, hey, the fucking guy like just got married and shit too. So I'm like, you know, I get, life happens. I get it, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and Caleb looks on fire right now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He looks great right
this
now.
Must be the fucking extinguishers. I must have 2 damn fire extinguishers then right here. Shit.
No, but he's doing really good in that 65 class. Like it's impressive what Caleb can do.
But he's dedicated. I mean, you know, they both are. And but
it's ridiculous how dedicated Caleb is. And I don't think people understand the dedication that he has.
Right.
Like, yeah, he arm wrestles a lot. He does all this, but it's a difference. It's a mindset. He has a champion mindset, which a lot of people don't have.
He legally changed his last name to Armbender. He's crazy.
Did he really?
I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I will say shit all night that is not true, but just so you know.
You should do that, Caleb. Caleb's in the chat. Change your name legally. You are now the Armbender.
Caleb, if you're still in the chat, change your name legally.
Do this.
See, I'm so competitive.
Armbender.
If I was a 165er, I would change my name to Armbender first. So when Caleb goes to have it, they're like, you could be Armbender 1. And like, damn it. That's how competitive I am. I ain't making 165 anytime soon.
No, but he's doing some good things in the sport for sure.
Yeah.
This is a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle for him. 100%.
Yep.
It's awesome to see, and a lot of people don't have that. So it's cool to have those certain people in our sport that kind of drive it forward, and it makes people want to train more to actually go against people like that.
Absolutely.
There's only some guys out there that when any time of the day, and no matter what day of the week, they'll sit there, you can put your arm down and they'll go right to pulling you. Doesn't matter.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, he's 24. I guarantee he's 24/7 thinking about arm wrestling all the time. And he's so young still too, man. He's got just a huge future. The Caleb that I arm wrestled like a year ago is not the same Caleb. And like every year he just makes extreme gains and gets smarter on the table too.
Crazy what you can do.
Yeah, very inspirational.
Yeah, for sure. I'd have to say that about these two girls as well. Watching them train and watching, you know, Haley and Grace grow in the sport, it's really awesome to see because, you know, we need strong women in this sport, and just seeing how hard they train and how, you know, dedicated they are to the sport. It's, you know, it's good to see, especially for the women.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just getting to know you, Haley. But I do like one thing I do know about you, Grace, is this last year, the same as Caleb, you're like popping up everywhere. You've been traveling a lot to compete. I've seen you at random practices in all different places.
She's come to us a few times.
Yeah, you seem like you're on for the sport right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mindset has never changed since the beginning. I know what I need to do now. I'm more focused.
Cool.
It doesn't even have
So we've got Benjimac is in the chat holding it down as a moderator, and he made a really great video on YouTube, on his YouTube channel, Benjimac. Benji, if you want to post the link in the chat so people can go check that out. Also, another guy that was covering it that has some great videos is Tommy. His channel is Orion Armwrestling. So go check out Benjimac and Orion Armwrestling. We've also got my teammate Johnny Dang in the house. What's up, Johnny Dang, helping with moderation. And let's see. He says, "Oh my gosh, how adorable. I think he's your little one, Haley."
Oh, thank you. She's also an arm wrestler. She's got like 3 first places, so yay for her.
No way.
That's amazing. Oh, friends of the family.
Yeah, all my kids do it. They love it too. So
that's awesome.
He's adorable.
Johnny followed up his that's so cute comment with he means Haley's little girl, not Caleb.
Caleb's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a cute.
You would love our kitty. Look at our kitty.
that one's cute
Oh,
too.
yeah. Oh, this arm wrestling show is overflowing with cuteness. What do we do?
Jason started it.
Yeah, I can't help it. As soon as I popped up,
Bring in some more cuteness.
Bring the baby on there. Where's the baby?
Then son kid Zero, she said she's a little tipsy too.
Yeah.
Future arm wrestler.
Oh, baby.
Look at the little pointy finger.
Oh.
No, Dad.
She's like, no, mom first.
Okay, so yeah, I would have loved to see Caleb pull ET, but his performance in the tournament was pretty insane. That was cool to watch. And that guy, he's actually new to our team. He started practicing with us, I believe.
Mike Linder.
Mike Litton or
Linder, yeah. He's good, man. I met him in Vegas. I met him in Vegas. He's I think he won the 155 class or something like that in Vegas. I think he went undefeated, and because he messaged me and he was like, "Hey, dude, I haven't pulled in like 2 years. Like, can I come practice with you?" I was like, "Dude, I'm actually," he wanted to come practice. I said, "Actually, that weekend," I said, funny enough, I said, "There's a tournament. I'm reffing in it, but I said, dude, you should enter." And he was like, "Oh, dude, I've been on that table." And then I was like, "Fuck it, who cares? Well, that's a good way to practice. At least come over for after pulling." And he ended up entering, and I think he won double golds. Yeah.
Yeah, he won everything at that one. And he got first place right hand 165 at the Kringle Pull, I believe.
Yeah, he pulled. His very first match was Caleb right hand, and he beat Caleb right handed pretty easily. And you know, and again, like I'm sure Caleb, you know, probably thought at least 65s. I think realistically he's like 85s. He got a couple people up there that might give him some trouble, and but you know, I think he thought 65s was going to be a cakewalk, and I just saw him set up and with Mike, and Mike just hit him, and it was like, oh, okay, you know, you can tell he was, you know, is Mike good? Yes. Was Caleb sleeping? Yes, too. You know, so yeah.
Right. And you know how they say with different people, you know, you always hear the saying, practice is different than a tournament, than competition. Sure. For me, like some people, that's not exactly true. Some people, you know, pretty much pull the way they pull in practice. And some people, like, they are just completely different monsters when it comes to competition. And I don't know if it's just the prep or what, or just, you know, the ready go. But yeah, Mike's one of those, both Mikes that competed in the 165, Mike Brown and Mike Littender, I think you said. Yeah, like
I think the big thing, and you know, Bob Brown, I love Bobby, he's a friend, and you know, he wrote these arm wrestling thoughts of the day and stuff, and you know, it's really interesting, and I think one of the biggest reasons why there's such a discrepancy, not with everybody, but with a lot of people, between practice pulls and a tournament with ready goes, yada yada yada, is because, like Bob says, why do you practice with a grip you cannot ever get in competition? And dude, I see it from everybody, you know, and I see people grabbing like this, and that, you know, and it's like, dude, well, sure, you know, whatever. I'm one of those people, when you practice, I don't care, anyone can beat me, I don't give a shit. I'm like, all right, cool. The way I arm wrestle in a tournament, dude, if you think I'm gonna hold on, like even in your hand, you think I'm gonna hold on to that? That's no, I'm always training. I'm always training. But when you're in a practice, and you know, Alan Fisher said it way back when I've known Alan for years, and I was like, the best thing to do: put your elbows down, put your hands together, close your thumb, close your hands, start arm wrestling, and that's kind of what it should be. But you see people trying to get every advantage in a practice, and you don't know what's going in the minds of the other person. And, you know, I'm one of those people that go, cool. Yep. Cool. You know, I've watched John Brzezinski practice personally, you know, and look, everyone feels they good against John. Everyone feels good against Devin, because these guys they're just like, they're training, man. They're training. And if you, the reality is, it's like, and that's why I like Todd Hutchins when he says, are you chasing wins or are you chasing excellence? Well, because if you're just trying to get a win here and there, and that's kind of easy to do, if you want to, excellence is over a big, broad spectrum. And I don't care if I win tomorrow, but lose tomorrow. I'm like, at the end of the day, I want to be here. And that path through there may be real freaking rocky. But it's people will do, all arm wrestlers will do something. You're a huge service where you're like, I'm great in practice, shitty in competition. If you're that person, then start practicing fair. Start practicing ref scripts. Start practicing without your hand. Start practicing, like, dude, this whole thing with people. I'm like, as soon as you touch the person's doing this, and dude, I'm like, I'll say this: it's very rare to me to grip up with someone and it's even. It's always, and then they're like, okay, let's go. Well, what do you? Cool, you win. Okay, you win, but. If you want to talk, and Sarah and I will preach, she'll preach to the girls, I preach to the guys, people go like, look, we're so strong. What do you do? Arm wrestle me. They do this. I arm wrestle like this. Every squeeze, squeeze. We are not hitting each other. All 0 hits. I'll hit you in competition. If you think you can do hits in practice, please send me your medical bills, because I will help you, because you're gonna have, maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually you're going to see it. Look at Devin's, John's, everyone's got surgery. Why? Because they know they did it wrong. They did it wrong. They did it wrong. They did it wrong. I mean, there's 20-year-old kids getting stem cells. Stem cells in their 20s? Okay. I'm 47.
It's a little weird.
I have no injuries.
Yeah.
I still can't believe you're 47.
Look at this. I don't even have any grays. Look at that shit. It's these Sun-Kissed Zeros. That's the official sponsor.
You don't look your age either, Haley.
But no, you too, Haley. Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't know. You're over 25. I didn't know that.
A whole
Gosh, you're
30,
my age.
39 right here.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna say your age over there.
Okay.
You know?
Huh.
But yeah, you know what I mean? So I just think it's one of those things that it's just a fundamental difference. Again, that's why I was saying this to one of the guys. I'm not too sure who, a couple of people. And I was saying it's the fundamental difference of training in Europe and training, or, overseas and training here, where it's like, not to say that they don't do hits and stuff like this. Yes. But most of their training is the table is to make you better. The gym makes you stronger. American style arm wrestling seems I'm going to use the table to get strong. And that's really flawed logic, because every time I grip up with you and every time you grip up with me, there's the human element of, I don't know how tired you are. I don't know how rested I am. I don't know what it is. I don't know none of that stuff. 80 pounds is 80 pounds in the gym every day, no matter how angry I am, how much sleep I get, how good I feel. That's why her and I use this. We're at the table right now, but we use this this is the skill. The gym is to get stronger. And if you're using arm wrestling to get stronger, I think it's just the ceiling's so low. It's just so low. It's so low. And your risk of injury, that means you have to do all this really hard against another opponent. You may not be the one that gets hurt, but your opponent, your teammate might be getting hurt. So, I'm not saying trying to help anybody out. I'm just giving people what I believe is, I used to do it too, and I the elbows and everything, all the pain. I don't do that anymore. And I believe I'm stronger than I ever was, and I'm healthier. Like I take no pills, no drugs. I'm healthier because I'm covered, because I'm not stupid. I do get stupid every once because it's fun, but it's hard. It's hard.
Fun.
Because me and Bob Brown talk about that too. The most fun part of our sport is training. But it's so counterproductive to get good at it,
Yeah.
The best way to get good at it is by sparring. But you can't just sit there and punch each other in the head every day. You die.
Right.
That's what you're doing in your tennis, in these like food for thought.
Yeah, it's hard. A lot of times at practice, I mean, there's a lot of people that love to practice and not compete. But I mean, practice is, sometimes it's fun. Like it's like you were saying in the beginning, what hooks you with arm wrestling, I think can also take you down a bad path with your training. And I'm a big example of that. I love pulling hard in practice. I love the exchange of energy. I love that I feel more sore that entire week than I could possibly ever feel from the gym. There's a feeling that you get from it, and it does not, you're right, it does not help you. Yeah, between like myself having a bad performance at that tournament and then the conversation I had with you both afterwards, and Christian as well, it was a lot of enlightening stuff. I can't agree with you more. Like I've 100% decided to change my training style, because when you're arm wrestling people that don't train that way and that are training to be champions and are training to win, it's a different story.
Do you speak to it yourself when you say the level between you and you and Caleb is here? You guys are both arm wrestlers. You have more than him. So you go, well, what's he doing right? What am I doing wrong? You can take the cop out and be like, oh, it's genetics, or he's younger, he's that, and maybe that isn't. I'm not saying that isn't, but or you can be like, maybe it's my fault. And like I said, the thing is, what you said, I want to fix something rang out, and what you said, Kane. You said something I think a lot of people got a really misunderstanding of what you just said. You said, when I go to a hard arm wrestling practice, that week I'm more sore than ever be at the gym. That's what you said, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not misquoting you. And this is the worst possible way to have your body, because that means I say it like this all the time. Training should be a stimulus. The one great example I can show everyone, everyone knows the stimulus our body reacts to something, sun tanning, right? I lay out in the sun. What happens? This, on a hot summer day, my skin starts to get warmer and everything like that. Now, if my goal is to be tan and sexy, if I told you what I'm going to do, Kane, I'm going to stand out for 4 fucking hours in one day. You'd be like, dude, you're going to burn. No. I'll be so burnt that when I'm done, do you see how ridiculous it sounds? Because what happens is now your skin's burnt. You can't do anything except put aloe vera. What happens at the end of all that? Do you tan? No, you're not tan. Sorry, you're not tan. You're just burnt. You recover all that time. Where now the person that goes out in a little bit of sun, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 25 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Over time, they build a base tan, and now they're sexy. Not if you, I'm white as fuck. I'm still sexy. But you know what I'm saying? But if the goal is to be tan, but this is what people are doing with arm wrestling. They're putting I'm just going, I'm so sore. You got to look at your muscles like super sunburnt skin with boils on them and stuff like that. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. And the problem is, like you said, I get it, man. I've been there too. I still do it sometimes. It's the most fun. It's fun. Like you said, the energy exchange. I'm 100% on the page. But do you want to have fun in the sport or be great in the sport? If you want to be great if you have fun in the sport, do whatever the hell you want to do. Arm wrestle 6 days a week, 7, kill yourself. I don't know. But you want to be great in the sport. It has to be done systematically, and it has to be done with an approach of like when I'm training a guy right now, like block periodization, power blocks, hypertrophy block, power block, strength block, peak block, deload, repeat. And if you're not doing that, if you're just going to the gym, I always tell people, what's the difference between training and exercise? Most people go to the gym and they exercise. They do exercises. They do barbell curls. They do this and that. Exercising is doing what you want to do. Training is doing what you have to do. We train. We don't exercise. I can tell you, I can take my shirt off. You'd be like, this guy don't fucking exercise. Yeah, I can say that. But but I'm training. I'm being serious, joking around. But the reality is if you're not training and you're just exercising, you will make progress. But it's going to be so slow. And that's why when people are like, holy shit, and they touch her. Oh my God. Dude, Sarah's on I can't wait for the Leanne rematch. Oh God, Jesus. Because Sarah's so strong. Anyone who touches her, Jesus. Because what are you doing? I'm just training. She's telling you the truth. She's training. She's not going in and going, I'm going to do bicep curls for Instagram. Yeah, she does it for Instagram. That's all bullshit. That's all bull. You see her doing, I'll tell you, secret girls, you see her doing shit on Instagram, it's for the gram. It's not what she's really doing. So it's, and that's the thing, man. If you want to be great, you got to follow a regime. If you just want to have fun, it's a fun thing to do. You can have fun, jump at a competition, whatever. Maybe you win, maybe you lose. It's fun, man. It's all, and you know what? No one's wrong. Everyone's right. It's just what you won't get out of the thing, man. So.
I can definitely, with an honest opinion, say there's sometimes in my training I do not like, but I know I have to do it. Like, I'm not going to say hate some parts of my training, but there's some parts of my training I dislike, but I still have to do it because and I want to be the best in this sport. I'm not doing it just for fun.
I put wrist weights on her when she does dishes. It makes me sandwiches. That's why she's so strong. She got
my hands are
she got weights on her face. Making me sandwiches. That's what she does doing. She likes lifting weights. She don't like making me sandwiches.
Yeah, his sandwiches suck.
I'm wasted.
No, it's really insightful stuff, and it's true. I was so happy after we had Odette a few months ago to be back to practice. And the big deceiving thing for me at my age, I'm in my 40s too, is finally able to practice every week. There was a time where, once I was going heavier and heavier, it was kind of hard to recover if I did 2 or 3 weeks in a row. and then go to my trade, my work. Like it was rough business. I'd like get sick sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Diminishing returns. Yeah.
right. But once I came back, I was able to practice every week hard. I was able to, go, compete and do all that stuff. And I kind of just went with that momentum. But, and I am still recovering, by 3-4 days later for the most part, but not enough to get back in the gym. Not just
Yeah,
not,
and that's the thing. Like I said, your and I don't want to hijack this, please, but your gym is, first of all, I'm surprised you feel my crown because you have a baby now. You had that dad strength. I thought you were gonna rip his arm right off, but anyway, it was nice of you to let him win. But you don't want to set a bad example for the baby. You show how they lose. Anyway, but the thing is, it is people, like I said, they chase soreness, they chase this like feeling of like. And it's you just can't do it, I mean, even when you're young, it's like you said, you're in your 40s, but even when you're young, there's a wall, there's a threshold where you're going to hit, and all of a sudden you get weaker and weaker and weaker. Here's the problem: if you're surrounded by teammates, let's just say you have 6 people hypothetically, and you're all doing it together, you can all progressively be getting weaker together and have no idea.
Right.
That's a real reality. Then you go to somewhere else, you go to a new practice, you're like, what the hell? Like, it's because you're all overtraining together, and like I said, there's a balance, and I was on a podcast the other day, and someone said they were talking about what's the optimum number of days to rest. I guarantee we ask everyone in the room, you all have a different number. What is the optimum amount of days to rest before a tournament? You have yours, Kane?
I'm still figuring that out, but usually for me, I've been giving myself at least a week, sometimes 2. I think it varies per person.
Yep.
I think the biggest differentiation between between 2 different groups of people. I feel like some people need to maintain maintenance and that might be a lot heavier than others. If they actually take that break and do like what Devin Larratt preaches, like I do nothing. I'm not lifting a shopping bag, the week before or whatever. But there's some people that they still need to lift. Like they're not going to be maxing out, but they're still, they want to come in feeling maintained.
Sure.
Basically.
What about you ladies, Haley Grace? Like, what is your typical, before a match?
I keep lifting. I at least do bands. Like the whole week before, every single day I do bands, and then I do my lifting just because it helps my back and neck injuries that I have. So I don't do super heavy, but I do keep lifting. But it keeps my blood flowing, and I just like the feel of it. If I don't do it, then I feel crashed out for the tournament, and I hurt for the tournament if I'm not lifting and doing stuff.
Yeah, any type of lightweight bands, or I like to go swimming if I can. But like 2 weeks out is around the time where I just like deload and kind of rest a little bit more than normal.
Yeah.
Before. So,
well, my point is,
super matches are different. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say my point was what you guys all said was, but the answer is, though, if you know it, and it's very difficult to know, but the answer is the optimal amount of rest you should have, or the ideal amount of rest is the short amount of rest that you're fully recovered. So if it takes you 2 weeks to fully recover, that's yours. If it takes you 3 days to fully recover, that's hers. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can test this stuff out. There is ways to test it. The other thing is what I see people doing too is they'll like go, I'm going to do one last really, really hard arm wrestling practice, and I'm not going to do anything ever. Well, again, that's silly because arm wrestling is a skill. And so, but there's no reason you can't have a really hard practice 3 weeks out, a 70% practice 2 weeks out, 40% practice 1 week out. Are we smart enough to get on the table and only go this, or do we care if we lose? Do we have a teammate? So, let me work in that 40% range. That's the hard part. But it's interesting to hear like everyone has their own little different things, and because it is, everyone's trying to figure out, like you said, like there's some people that have to do or else whatever. Some people do absolutely like zero, and they think if they move, oh my God, I just used 1% of energy, like you said, lifting my car key,
Right.
So, yeah. Again, it's an interesting thing because unlike other high profile sports, or even like UFC has data in NFL and stuff, we don't know. We don't have like an MRI on someone's arm every day going like, oh, your muscles are fully recovered, but your tendons are actually almost damaged. And that could be 3 weeks out,
Yeah. And I think that's where one of the reasons gym programming can be so helpful is because if you are tracking your numbers and what those numbers are doing, you can know, that to me that transfers over to your athletic ability in a competition in arm wrestling, and it can also help you hone in on that time. Like for example, a lot of times if I say I have a heavy practice Sunday, for whatever reason it is, I'll be super sore and beat up Monday, Tuesday, but then Wednesday something happens where there still might be a little soreness there, but I feel good. Like I feel like, man, this is like when I should be competing, but my numbers could tell me something different. If
100%, yes.
If I'm in the gym, and they're low around that time period. We have Todd Calazo in the chat right now, and he's I believe you've done baseball coaching, Todd, and he's very avid into organized sports, and we've talked a lot about things like drills and stuff like that, how they're very common in sports. And yeah, what you said earlier about it can be infectious as a team if you're not training correctly. And I definitely see that, sometimes, if everyone's having too much fun, just pulling hard and everything, that can be infectious. And Todd, while you're in the chat, going forward with practices, I'm hoping this can be infectious. I want to start working on hit training safely with partners. I want to start working on drills between hook and not going 100%, working on mechanics, top roll, defensive, in and out of the straps, working drills like that. And, yeah, I'd love to see that become infectious, and you're a big advocate in our team. Hopefully, Elijah would want to get involved in something like that too.
Yeah, you got to, or else you're not making anyone better. You're a team, but you're all just competing against each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
Teammates help each other. I always say it. Like I might have said it on this show last time I was on here, but like if I want to teach her a rear naked choke in jiu-jitsu, I have to allow her to apply it fully, put the choke on, tell her how to squeeze. No, yes, that's it, tap. Now you have to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way, imagine I go, all right, here, put the choke on me. And as soon as she starts, I start doing this. That's what everyone's doing. They're like, okay, yeah, they're top. No, it's like, dude, you have to allow, there's a saying in jiu-jitsu, drillers are killers. The best guys are the guys that are drilling 50%, 60% speed, 60% power. 50% power. That's mainly what her training is all on the table with me giving her like clicks on a plate. What do you want? One click, one plate, two plates. You want all the plate, and that's there's nothing better, because you're right, Kane, what you said before. Nothing. Well, nothing makes you sore because nothing stimulates arm wrestling or stimulates those muscles like the actual art of the thing we're doing.
Yeah.
Can you be smart enough to do that thing in this field of percentage of power? That's the hard part. That's where you get good teammates. That's where you get real progress.
Right.
Finding someone who can take you through those things that you cannot feel it. You cannot get in the gym.
Yep.
Because of directions, because of
Yeah. And Sarah, you gave so many good bits of advice at that event. I feel like there is a place for sparring, and that seems to be the most common thing that we do in practice. We kind of spar. We slowly spar. Sometimes some people might be trying to hit a little harder or faster than the other person, but we're kind of slowly going through angles and stuff like that. Oh, okay, I'm going to go this way. Oh, okay, I'm going to go this way, whatever. I'm going to respond to you doing this. But it's all happening in a very non-realistic way. It's kind of like a slowed down version of feeling fundamentals. in my opinion.
Like that, I think that's good.
But those aren't exactly crossovers if you're trying to get into competition and you're trying to win. If you end up in a grind, maybe it will help you adjust a little bit. But to me, those repetitions that you have, like in any sport, you know, like what are they doing in baseball? If you're going to work on fielding ground balls, they're going to hit you 200 ground balls, you know, in different directions, and you are going to be scooping those up 200 times in a matter of, you know, however long. Hit training, you know, with the bat, tackling and football, all these things that they have to come with repetition. And to me, like, they have to come in a realistic form too, you know. So be it hit training, defense, and offense. Yeah, I feel like all of those are important. And if both people are conscious that this is happening, it can probably be done in a pretty effective way.
The only problem is all the sports you just said, like you said, like tackling. Let's just say tackling. That's the only physical one with two people. You said other references, but tackling is the one that involves two people. When you're tackling in football, you don't have two people tackling each other. You actually have one guy running away and the other guy doing the tackling. Yeah. In arm wrestling, we have two guys.
Right, but the guy getting tackled has to be used to feeling that and how to respond to being tackled, how to get hit in the numbers, and then
100%. What I'm saying is,
to...
imagine though, but our sport, this is the problem, is that guy is letting him tackle the guy. That guy's letting him trying to juke him out, the feeling that we have two guys trying to tackle each other at the same time, or potentially trying to juke out each other at the same time.
Right. That's where sparring should come into place, though, right? We have the drills to get our repetitions down. Then that's where, like, I personally feel like I'm lacking a lot, is the response and repetition to, like, a lot of the errors that I'm making lately in competition. Like, I teach our newbies this stuff all the time, like basic stuff, like very basic stuff. And I walk away from a loss and I'm like, dude, what was I doing? Like, it just was not ingrained into my muscle memory in that speed, that situation, versus, you know, something that's unrealistically slowed down in sparring. And that's where I think, you know, maybe there is some value in, you know, full speed sparring instead of this, like, let's get stronger and like go through it.
Okay, so here's the thing. When you're full, you can't full speed spar a teammate. In my opinion, one of you or both of you are walking away with damage. So you can do that. I'm just saying you can do that. But the problem is with that is the way you get strong in arm wrestling is time under tension. Time under tension. Being powerful and fast, that's innate. Can it be trained? Yes, but it's innate. Sarah is fast. She's always been fast as shit. You can train her hit, nothing. She's fast as shit.
Well, what about the speed to a response for a different?
I'm going to say that.
You're doing that with a veteran that you trust. You know what I mean? Like somebody
what I'm saying is, okay, because I'm just saying though, if you're going to do, don't get me wrong. Do you need to do ready, go training? Yes. Do you need to go ready, go matches? No. Huh? Ready go training. I load up with Sarah and we have a thing ready go. I'm completely dead on. Completely dead on. If I go with her or someone the same speed and go ready go, dude, that's damage. Damage if you guys are close. Damage.
And are you meaning like training, like, you know, like against a certain move or stuff? You know, like, you know, bending hook or things like that. More training like, you know, it's a specific counter moves and stuff.
I didn't hear a word you said, dude. I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, I was breaking up a little bit.
Was that like doing more specific? Okay, I was talking about, is the more in specific training, like a training for a hook against a hook, or training for, you know, a top roll, more specific training like that is what you're talking about? We
do everything. You know, for Sarah and I, like, honestly, Sarah's my main practice partner. The difference is she didn't do just two hands bands, and we have some stuff. You know, we've done some lives the way we train. But yes, we train everything. And again, we train on the full spectrum you have to be strong here to here, you know, and the match changes massively. Where you have to set everything. The moment you get onto the losing side, the moment you get onto the winning side. So, and both need to be trained part and parcel. And the same thing in all of the, like you said, the matches, hook versus press versus top roll versus this versus low hand versus posting, they have to all be analyzed in the setup. And because and we train them all, even our especially our, we train them at 100% effort, but individually. She's never doing 100% on. I mean, she can do 100% on me because I'm strong enough. But she is. I'm never doing 100% on someone while they're doing 100% on me. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Do you need to load up? You know what I mean? Absolutely, in training to get your hits up. But if you're going ready goes and you're both having a match, I don't know. I just think it's like sparring in boxing with your like, let's do rounds. Ding, ding, here we go. Like, dude, one guy's coming out or potentially two guys with a lot of damage that takes way more recovery than a single one. And it's long-term. That's why chronic illness, that's or chronic fatigue, chronic injuries, elbow pain, wrist pain, sore thumb, sore this. Why? Everyone's massively overtraining and they keep training and they keep training. When you said you feel good, it brought something up to my attention. I was like, dude, I remember one time I was going in to do my max effort day. Dude, I felt like the best day ever. I slept good. I went in, dude, just my amount of caffeine. I was the weakest I've ever been. I went in 3-4 days later, feeling total shit, didn't sleep, broke 2 PR. So the way you feel, that don't mean shit. The weights will tell you what it does. So, and like I said, the chronic, the injury that you can get from I'd be like, so if someone's in the chat or someone says, "Oh, but dude, I arm wrestled like this week. Look how strong I am." Take up 3 weeks off. I feel like a world beater because you actually heal. Tendons take literally 6 weeks minimum to start repairing themselves. Everyone will tell you arm wrestling tendon. If you got chronic injury and you're like, I'm going to keep training through it, it's just damage. Eventually, it turns into surgery or any, then it turns into weakness, and then and you know, maybe you got great insurance. I can't afford this. You know, so
what are your thoughts on that, Haley?
Hey, I'm just listening. Sorry. A lot of our training, we actually end with like a blood flow. So we grip up and then we just get into a position and we hold for about 30 seconds. And then we do it here. And it really helps our blood flow train. And then if I have like a killer, like last year we had 15 girls at a tournament, I absolutely take 2 weeks off afterwards because I have to let those heal just to feel better. Like I can tell when I'm just crashing down and you have to take that time off. Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah. One of my favorite training experiences that I had was like 2 years ago. Derek had ET and I grip up and he said, stay static. I want you to give about like, I don't know. I don't know if he said 30 or 50% or something like that, but static right in the middle of the table. And I'm going to start my stopwatch and you're going to stay there for 5 minutes. And after the 5 minutes is up, you can go ahead and, you know, go through.
We do about 30 seconds. So we do here and then defensive, and then we switch arms and we do that side and then we go back to this side, and we do both sides at least 2 or 3 times. Just a good hold position to get that blood flow going at the end of practice.
Yeah, I bet even 30 seconds is really good because that 5 minutes was like,
I
bet ridiculous.
That would be hard.
It is brutal.
Yeah, there was like no point in us arm wrestling when the 5 minutes was up. We were just like,
that's not blood flow. That's torture.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Haley's got it right. Derek's a butthead.
Definitely helps you with that, because when you get into your lock on your outside and you can still see your pronation working, that's pretty awesome, because a lot of people don't have the ability to lock their pronation like you do. Even if you get beat, the fact that you still have your pronation, like that's crazy. Like, that's awesome. Like, the fact that Grace could pull through your arm like that, I mean, that's props to Grace too. I mean, that match with you guys, that was a great match.
That was, she did great. I screwed up, and I was, you have to try new things. It was my first super match, and I started high and then went low, and that screwed me over. So I was like, well, lessons learned.
You walked from Idaho, man. You walked from Idaho.
And you walked
I walked.
Dawson.
I was tired, I was just.
Yeah. Next
I
time
was tired in the end. You could tell them about the after pulling.
Does anybody actually do hit training in their practice?
I love seeing how you girls are growing in the sport. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Hit training?
Yeah.
Do they do that? Do you guys do that during practices? Do hit training?
We do, yeah. Everybody trains their own specifics, and I think Christian was having a new way of doing like an hour every hour. They were doing something different, but I wasn't keeping up with that. I was just going through and pulling. Like, I didn't have any type of structure to my practices after just recently. So
doing her pull-ups, push-ups.
Say that one more time.
I said you're doing your pull-ups and push-ups.
So that, I added more of that into my programs in the gym, and it definitely helped. I saw an improvement in my lat strength, first of all, and keeping my elbow on the table. So I was happy with that.
You can see. You can tell.
I'm going to check into the chat here. We got Steve Kangas in the house. Good job at the tournament, Steve. You were competing, I think, amateur, and you did really, really well. It's good to see your progress. He says that's a good point. Easier to track progress with weights. Definitely.
Yeah, and Steve, nice meeting you, man, and talking and everything like that. Steve was, like I said, we've been stalking each other on Instagram, and then it was nice to actually meet him in person. A good dude, yeah.
Nice. And Todd Calazo says, let me see, dude, yeah, training versus exercise. What a genius concept. I couldn't agree more. Great insight. I think talking about what you were saying earlier.
It's that damn sun kiss, baby.
He says sports specific training. Paul Stevens is in the house. What's up, Paul? He says, I don't train super hard at practice. I train where I'm comfortable, meaning I leave where my muscles are pumped and a little bit sore, but not sore where I'm in pain.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many times I'm actually not on the table at practice, because a lot of people are like, you guys are there for like 5 hours. You train that whole 5 hours? I'm like, no, I probably train about, in total, probably an hour, that entire 5 hours, because I get on the table and I'm on the table for like 15 minutes and then I'm off for like 45.
Yeah, our training that we do here at the house is
It's
her most intense training. Right?
Yeah,
that's me.
My most intense training is here because I can really focus on it. But people would actually be surprised what my training schedule is, because I'm giving my muscles and my tendons time to heal. And they would be like, wait, you're not like every single day, 24. Like, no, I can't do that. It doesn't work like that. Like, you can't recover.
But I mean, you look at the people who are talking, like Haley's like, oh, I take 2 weeks off. Paul Stevens like, hey, look, you're the oddball, Kane. I'm telling I train once a year. But the reality is, like, the common denominator, other than all of us are sexy as hell, thanks to this sun kiss. The other common denominator is we're all like around 40s. You know what I'm saying? We're all over 21. And when you're older like that, a lot of the times it's like, you know, you get smarter.
Grace is the youngest in this crew, I think.
I think she is.
But you get, you know what I'm saying? It's like, do you take more time off because you need, so do you take more time off because you need to, or do you take time off because you're smart enough to know you should take time? Probably a little bit of both, but you definitely get smarter as you get older, you know, and because you start to know your limits, and all it takes is that one injury or the one, you know, and it gets to, you know, it sucks. Injuries suck, you know.
Yep, it's true. What else we got here? Let's see. Todd says 1 to 2 weeks in terms of recovery. We got Levi Rakowski in the house. What's up, Levi? Mr. Beast, man. He says, what's up, people? Ed Bedrosian says tackling guy versus tackled guy is like arm wrestling, hitting versus catching. I could see that. Paul Stevens says there are exercises out there that will help you with taking hits. Like Jason said, if you have 2 people hitting, one or both are going to get hurt. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Usually if you're receiving the hit, you're going to give it up if you're training hit training. And he says a practice hit and a tournament hit are 2 different animals. Yes. And Ed Bedrosian says an Ed hit and a Paul hit are 2 different animals.
But the only difference between if you're training right, your practice hit should be your tournament hit. Absolutely. Like, again, practice only builds habits. It doesn't make you good or bad. It just builds habits. So if you're like, I'm going to do this in practice, but this in the tournament, well, maybe you do, and you're awesome. I'm not saying you can't do it, but the chances are if you do this is like, I'm going to do this, and then you try that little extra something because you're fresher, true, because, you know, you're more rested, it's true. That is why it will be different, but the execution should be the same. But if the execution changes, then you don't know, am I going to elbow foul? How many times do you see really good pullers get to a match and they go so hard, so fast, elbow fouls?
Mm-hmm.
Elbow foul off the front means that you're not strong enough to contain your opponent. Elbow foul on the back means you're reckless and you don't know how to control your body. So, you know, and but that's the truth. That's the truth. Or God forbid, you're so strong you just rip the person off and you're like, okay, cool. But the reality is, I mean, if you're, that's why it has to be the same. It has to be the same. And if it's not, then I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I say, you know, why couldn't it be? Other than the fact, like I said, sure, arrested, you know, blah, blah, blah version is, of course, but the execution, if that's what it means by that, 100% I agree. But the execution should be the same. It should be like, oh my God, I'm getting so fired up in the tournament. Well, that fired up can get you fouled. That can get you moving in a ref script, you know? So
can I throw something in real quick? I was throw it out. I was tired. Like, I did 2 tournaments in a month, like last summer, and I was warming up for the tournament, and my coach is like, why are you warming up like that? Like, he could even tell, like, even in your warm up, you need to be training like you're gonna pull. Like, I was just there to be there. I wasn't ready to do the tournament. So everything you're doing needs to be ready.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I believe at one pretty competitive San Diego tournament, there was a lot of bad dudes at this one. And Alan Fisher's warm up was he was hit training hard, like before the event. And it was a safe hitting, you know, there was a person who was letting it go, a little pressure, and then letting it go. But yeah, it served 2 purposes. Not only was he firing up, you know, his hit for the day, but he scared the shit out of everybody in that room. It was just like some good psychological intimidation. He's just over there, like in front of everyone, rah, rah.
It's fun.
Tough when you have different referees bringing the cadence different. It was really difficult for me to anticipate when they're going to say go because of the different referees. So that's real tough for hit training, I would think. At least for me.
Yeah. They're always different. Could be ready, go. Could be don't move, go.
Don't move, ready, go.
Don't move, ready,
Don't
go.
move. How are you?
Go.
You ready? I think so. Go.
Yeah.
Oh, make them so long. I'm like, why is it so long?
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I hate that. Yeah. Do you guys like just go? Like go?
But I don't understand because when they say don't move, ready, I'm like, isn't that the same thing? Like, no, we're sitting here not ready. Like, no.
Just a simple ready go. It's fine.
But that ready go. I mean, what the fuck is that? That's so stupid. Again, if our sport needs to be like taken more seriously, something so simple as that, unified across the board.
Yep.
It should be competitor. Don't move. Go. Across the board.
About the same timing.
Just
keep the cadence the same.
Don't move.
Yeah.
Go. And all this.
It will also take out the people that are going on the end of ready and not getting caught for it. There's so many people that are literally pulling on the D of the ready.
Dude, okay. You want to have some fun and put this theory to test. Go watch the John Berzin Cup that just happened. I love Corey Miller. If he watches this, I love you, Corey. But you can watch him match with him and my boy Brian LaFerriere. I watched it frame by frame. And before Luke Pulcher says, this is where Corey is. And Luke's like, okay. Lear Wilson, you doing the same thing. Again, you ain't trying, I guess. But the reality is, these people are going. I mean, again, I understand because it's like the movement and the movement. And Corey's smart too. He watches your lips because sight faster than sound.
I watch people's lips.
Yeah.
I don't listen. I watch
because you can see before sound. Anyway, but it's like hundreds of milliseconds. But it's a thing if you're both fast. But you can watch that match frame by frame, and Luke is literally going ready, and Corey, and he's like, go, and Corey's pinning Brian, and Brian's and frame by frame. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, holy shit. Love you, Corey, but that was early.
Yeah, it's a lot of people take advantage of it, and especially being a ref now, I see it so much. I'm really honed in on people pulling and everything now, and I'm like,
the twist, everything, yeah.
Everybody's going like way early. Like there's a point where you can go on the E, not the D, the red D go. I get that, but when people are going on like the red and they're already halfway down, how is that even possible?
But the other thing is too, is if you're a fair puller and you're loaded up and someone just tees off on you like that, dude, that's damage on your arm, man.
And that's the thing. A lot of times I get in trouble for that because I'm very fair. I'm an extreme, like the girls you girls have pulled me. I'm very fair. I'm not going to do the thing where I pull around and pull you down or like I am here. That's where I am. That's where I start. That's where I am. And a lot of people, they want to, and I get it. You want to get the best hand position, the best whatever. That's why I love ref script because it takes away all of that. The people that use the cheating to win. And I get it. Every sport has that little tiny bit of cheating. Every sport does.
Is it cheating?
Of ref script because it takes it out completely.
I think it was Cody Merritt. If you guys all know Cody Merritt, I train with him a lot, and he's like, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So that's
exactly.
It's right there.
We had a big conversation when Shaldish was on.
I hate it.
Yeah, we were talking about like, is it cheating though? I think you just said that, Grace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a big topic, and it's still an ongoing situation.
Term. I think it was tactics, maybe, because
I get it.
Unless now jumping the go, maybe, but still are we accommodating that by having these weird cadences? But in terms of the grip, all those little things, if we don't have define a system of rules against them, and that are being acts that are breaking those, they're not really cheating. They're just like tactics. But yeah, it's hard to say because I'm in your camp, Sarah. Like I like to set up fair. I don't like to do too many weird things in the setup. But at the same time, sometimes I wonder, why am I like not?
Yeah, I feel you, Kane.
I understand that too, because I think the same when I get up to the table. I'm like, why am I not doing what everybody else is doing?
Yeah,
but that's
like legal. Yeah,
I love WAF strict rules.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
But like, yeah, and the purist in me does as well. But again, I've said this on multiple times.
Yep.
If you want to make the sport or something people watch, good luck letting the opponents grip each other. Yeah. Arm wrestling will never take off until we start in the strap with a set grip.
Right. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I got fucking Josh to talk. Holy shit.
Look, I've been saying this. I've been saying this forever. Okay, that if matches started straight in the straps, ref script, that's the most entertaining way that we can start matches and get through them faster. You're going to see pins, and then obviously, taking away such strict fouls for television purposes. But yeah, I totally agree.
Again, the arm wrestling purists, I love fucking WAF, strict rules, all that shit. I do. But I'm saying, if you're going to make it mainstream, like you look what Dana White just did to power slap, man, and slap fighting, and dude. But all he did was take a stupid concept, put some bells and whistles on it, make it a little more audience appealing, and all of a sudden, boom! Dude, those guys are getting one slap fighter is getting paid more than all the damn arm wrestlers put together.
We watch it all the time.
And but the thing is because why? You just made it user friendly. And like I said, strap, set grip, where you're here, you close your thumb, close your hand, arm wrestle. WA had it right. What they didn't, I don't like the big pads. I didn't like that. And the, obvious favoritism, but again, whatever. But it to me, it's the one way to get non-arm wrestlers to watch what we're doing, because you lose them. Invite anyone over for King of the Table, East versus West. They'll sit down for one match. They see strap. Good luck. They're gonna be like, I'm fucking gonna go watch Friends, or whatever. I'm gonna go watch the dog, or they're leaving. They ain't watching. We're watching because we're retards. We fucking love it all. But they ain't watching, And but if you get something right away, hey, watch this guy. This guy comes out. Boom, Alabama. Dude, look at that arm, Jesus. And this guy comes out. Boom. And you go, boom, they're lock and loaded. You can talk shit if you want to make it more WWE style. Put that strap on, boom. Here we go. We're going for a ride. Now it's the fun. Now it's fun.
Yeah. Anytime I watch these big events with King of the Table or East versus West, they're big matches that matter. So a lot of times, especially obviously with Devin's matches, that it just takes forever in these setups. And when I put myself in the perspective of a non-arm wrestler, I mean, even as an arm wrestler,
yeah, thank you.
It's boring as hell for me. But especially if I don't know the sport, if I'm watching that, I'm like, no, this
honest question. Hand of God, guys, when you're watching replays, who doesn't scrub fast forward when they're putting the strap on?
That was gonna be that was my next point. I fast forward every match until they go.
That's all you gotta do.
But because that's what goes on in most of these competitive matches, there's smarter people than me that are actually watching every single bit of those shenanigans and taking notes. I can tell you,
people aren't smarter than you.
That was the guy that just whooped my ass at the
Hey,
Kringle
those people
Pull.
aren't smarter than you.
Pulled
dude.
every
They got-
Devin Larratt bullshit trick.
No.
You know, every round, especially round one. Round one, I was ready to just walk off that stage. Like I was bored. I was like flustered, bored, the whole 9 yards, you know.
Kane, they're not smarter than you. You got babies and cats and a beautiful wife. They're bored. They got more free time. But I'm saying, right? But true, real talk. Do not all. If you're watching Matt, even King of the Table, you fast forward until you get to the. Oh, I went too back. Okay, there it is. You fast forward.
Yeah.
Even for
Yeah,
us,
I have to say something. When we were staying at Travis's house and Michael Brown was there that you were pulling, and he's like, "Don't you watch King of the Table?" And I was like, "I literally don't have time to watch that stuff, like, because it takes so long." And I'm like, "Do you know how many jobs and different things and kids and animals I have?" I'm like, "I don't have time. I'm sorry." He's like, "Why would you not watch it?" And I'm like, "Because I don't have time."
Yeah.
Like, I like arm wrestling, but I don't have time to sit there and scroll and do all this stuff. Like, he just thought it was so funny that I am not such an intense arm wrestler that I watch it all the time. So
Better wait for the highlight.
Through all that stuff.
Everyone does.
And just go to the matches where they
There's not a person that don't. They're lying. Mike Brown is lying. He got shitty internet and don't know how to use his phone. That's what he's got. Haley's telling the truth. We're all telling it. We all fast forward it until we see them going, and Bill's getting out of the way.
Yeah.
I find the YouTube highlights and just watch that.
There you go. There you go.
Sarah was sending, "Hey babe," she makes this like beautiful collage. It's like 20 minutes. It starts out with my cat, and then it fades into my face. It's like amazing. I fucking like scroll until like, oh, there it was. I just watched myself do this 6 times, and I'm like, that was a 45-minute video. I watched 6 seconds of it.
I would love to have a tournament where it is just a strap tournament. Just strap everybody up.
Started
I don't want to see this or this stuff where people are pulling with their fingers. I'm like, just strap everybody up.
Yeah.
You know, No Way to Run is actually a perfect name for a strap-only tournament.
It is actually, yeah.
Same.
Seriously.
No shit. No, that's true. That is.
Strap on.
It's your job.
There.
Call Paul Italia.
Call Paul Italia.
Todd Calzo says, "Don't start in the straps, but ref grip at the start for sure." So I that's what I would want too, but I also can sympathize with the fact that it's almost inevitable. So many
You're all gonna go into
and again, keep in mind what we're talking in the context, not for arm wrestler, who's the better arm wrestler. I'm talking about growing the sport.
Right.
You can go backwards. Look at UFC. They started like no gloves, no rules. Then they got a whole bunch of gloves, whole bunch of rules. Now people are fucking slapping each other in the face and fighting with no gloves and no rules again. It can go back full circle, but it's got the popularity's got to be established first. You got to build an audience, get them to like people, get them to cheer for Graces or whoever it is. You know, you get them to like you get them on your side. Oh wait, Kane lives in the mountains. I live in the mountains. I want Kane to win. And you know, or whatever. But the point is why I'm saying the strap is because it's the quickest, most, I think we all are saying it. A, it's inevitable, pretty much. B, and if you're, that's a whole nother conversation. But A, it's inevitable. But B, it's, like I said, just for the sake of streamlining for a mainstream audience to go, dude, watch these two guys. You know, we're all saying the same thing.
Nobody cares, especially with mainstream, nobody cares about this.
Well, in all this, right? Nobody, they're like, what are they doing? They think we're cheating when we use our bodies.
Yeah.
The regular, right? They're like, they're using their whole body. I can't.
That's not allowed.
Yeah.
The fouls too. The fouls too. They need to move towards position game fouls, like back towards that, or something like a hybrid of that, because too many matches. We're talking about the spectator, watching too many matches end on fouls, and that's not exciting for the average person. They're like, what the hell?
I love the fouls as a competitor because I'm a full follower. But you're right. Do you want to see an MMA fight or a football game just like penalty? The Lions win. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? I agree.
Jason, do you really feel like you won if you won on fouls? I don't feel like that's like a legit.
Again, ask which version of me. If it's for 100 grand, I don't care if I won before the guy's head fell off and I win. But yeah, the competitor in me, no, would want to see the match. I'm saying, we're all saying the same thing.
Yeah, we're all saying the same thing.
But again, even for the person's like, I think you should start a note, out of strap, rev script, outside of strap. Why? When it's probably going to go like this with two guys, and you just saved it. It's, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, it's streamline. And
especially the higher the match, 99% of the time they're going into.
And the other thing is, like, you're going to tell me there's no way some genius, Elon Musk, can't fucking make a strap that you don't have to go.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Tighter. Oh, rewrap. You can't find something that's just like, here, stick my hand to you. It's like, glonk. All right, let's arm wrestle.
Yeah.
We should be able to just duct tape our hands, something, 2 gloves. You know what I mean? Then you have an official arm wrestling glove, something,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Tom Cruise can climb up damn side of mountains. Why can't we get 2 of those things stuck together?
Yeah. It's crazy.
We can't even get weigh-ins and ready goes. I should probably stop with my mountain gloves. Like,
we can't even get weigh-ins 24 hours.
We can't even get weigh-ins 24-hour tournament. We're probably got a long shot before we get magnetic gloves from space. It's causing crazy.
It's all going the right direction, though. Because honestly, let's look at it from another perspective. Because all these things that we're talking about are so ridiculous and so true, and yet it's still growing. There's this big fan base growing for arm wrestling now, which is so weird. Like I think of like watching it myself, and I'm like, how can you get behind this? But like, we are growing, and the events are changing, and I don't know, just the whole thing is evolving, and I'm excited for that. But
Kane, we just said if we had MySpace, you instantly would be my top 8.
Yeah.
With that statement. Why the fuck am I watching it? Why? Dude, I sit there and watch a tournament from like Utah, and we're like Sarah supporting, Haley, or we're watching Grace, or any of you guys, we're watching you. I know we're like sitting there going, what the fuck are we? It's so picked though. Every arm wrestler, you go, hey, I'm gonna make a pact with Satan. I want super good powers. Like, okay, but the worst Wi-Fi in the world. That's like arm wrestling. Yeah, and I'm still, dude. I watched pixelated shit. It was like Milo and what's the hell? Auden and what's his name? Gabe.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys watch that?
It was, yeah.
It looked like Super Mario Brothers 1.
Yeah. It looked like it came straight out of like the 70s, or like when they first maybe started doing like color a little bit.
I was still watching.
Oh,
I was watching the pixelation would eventually.
Yeah, I was like, I'm cheering for Pixel Guy #1. I don't even know who it was. That looks like shit.
It's so bad. It was so bad, but I still watched the whole thing. I still watched it, hoping that the pixelation.
You know what I'm thinking, guys? Honestly, this is a good idea. We need to get more people on here. This is like a big intervention. We should get like 70 fucking screens. We're all like, my name's Jason, and I hate arm wrestling, but I keep doing it and I watch it. They're like, go ahead, Jason.
What's wrong with me?
Like, my name's Kane. Ditto. Oh shit, Kane.
We need to make Arm Wrestlers Anonymous.
Yeah, I'll make a shirt. I'll make a shirt, man.
We're making a shirt.
Sign me up.
It's so funny. I mean,
Awesome.
talking about arm wrestling being boring, like I can't. No, okay. Well,
Kane's like, quit there.
No. Yeah. Ingan, Larry, Neil, I love you guys. Your productions are amazing. You guys are madcaps. You're trailblazing and everything like that. But every single time we try and do a recap show, like in the title of this, I said, we were going to recap King of the Table 9. I can't count how many times I've done that. And we never talk about it.
That's true.
Hey, we can talk about it.
We never get to it.
Rubbing until
You're going to be known as one of the fake thumbnail guys.
Yeah. What is that called? Clickbait? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
You just the hell out of everybody. All I
Hey, we
learned.
can talk about King of the Table 9 because I can definitely talk about the women's match.
Nisa.
please.
All I heard is me and Josh share the same
That was
place.
amazing.
Babies.
Well,
and
let's
cats.
talk about it.
Grace got a pilgrim
Oh
hat.
my gosh. Like that match.
Kane, you left off and you were asking everybody how they thought about the Kris Kringle Pull.
We did. I mean, did we get through that? I mean,
No one else wanted to talk. I said.
I feel like we mostly covered it.
Yeah.
Well, first off, how did you feel about your match, Johnny, with the tank?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I mean,
Yeah.
it did. I mean, I was a little confused on some of the brackets, you know, on they're mixing up, going from one weight class to another. But you know, but overall, yeah, it was fine. I mean, I had a great time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was cool.
No,
Well,
and
It was each one's a different setup, you know, and it was, you know, different. I mean, I was used to a little bit more organized as far as just the brackets. You know, other than that, so it was great.
Johnny,
Yeah.
when did you actually find out he was pulling Jeremy?
yeah, Johnny, when did you find out you were pulling Jeremy?
Oh,
That-
you know, about half hour after I got there.
Okay.
And you're pulling.
yeah. Yeah.
I volunteered, so
You guys know
I
I'm not going to
volunteered.
name names, but I put that out to like so many people. I found out it was, I think, the day before that Waldo couldn't make it. He had the COVID, and yeah, I called like at least 5 people to do it, and people that are like pretty strong. And Jeremy's just kind of fresh back to the sport, but yeah, like nobody took the match, and but you did, dude. You did 30 minutes before or 30 minutes after getting there,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I mean, if I wasn't reffing, because Stephanie came up to me, she was like, "Do you want to do a super match?" I was like, "No, I'm reffing."
I thought you were going to say you were going to pull Jeremy.
I would have been. See,
I'm about ready to pull Jeremy.
If I wasn't rapping, I would whip Jeremy's ass. So Sarah's like,
No, but yeah, that's amazing that you literally got it 30 minutes before, and you're like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
oh,
again, like that's why I wanted to. Hopefully,
That's
I gave you
awesome.
your props, man, because like I said, I wanted the people to know you stepped up last minute.
yeah.
They already lost like a key match of the thing. They were about to lose the second one, and that should definitely go. You're always
That's
putting yourself on the
amazing.
line, man.
Yeah.
Anytime, all of us when we step to the table, you're putting on your work, your name, your reputation, all these kind of things like that, and to some people it may mean nothing. To some people it may mean the world. And but that's why I respect everyone that competes. I respect everybody.
I respect
yeah,
every single person.
for sure.
I was happy to win one round. I mean, he was very strong. He really was. It's fun though.
Yeah, Jeremy's no joke, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he came back at that Victorville poll, right, Kane? Yeah, you were there for that too. Yeah.
Victorville.
Yeah, the Victorville pool.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. He had
That was his like first
match
time
there,
back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Johnny, you're definitely one of my favorite people in this sport. You've got a good attitude, and yeah, it was really cool having you there in the corner of the stage, being able to talk to you and everything before all the matches and everything like that. Definitely top notch, dude.
I appreciate that, Kane.
I'd
So
ask-
same with you. Great meeting you, and man, honestly, everybody there, I didn't meet one person I didn't like. I mean, everybody's really, was really a good person. And I really enjoyed myself. Everybody was so cool throughout. I haven't been to one tournament where I've had somebody where I say, "Oh, I don't like that guy."
Yeah.
That hadn't happened.
No,
Yeah.
it's a community. Stop with the sun.
He asked. He said, "What's up?" Just answering some of the questions to keep the chat going. Is Sunkist zero alcohol, zero sugar?
How much are they paying you, Jason?
Dude, I'm waiting.
They better start. They better start.
I'll hold the can
Not
up,
another
bro.
sponsorship.
I'll hold it up all day. Put it
They're not
right
a sponsor, but I can't leave home without it.
here.
I'll sell out, guys. I'll do OnlyFans,
No, we're
only
not being
Sunkist.
sponsored, Todd. With some kid.
I know he's
going in the chat saying, "What's up with the sun, kid?"
When this is the only kind of kiss I get after you're married from the sun. she's too much of an arm wrestling celebrity to kiss me. I don't deserve
Not worth it.
I don't deserve it.
All right, well, Sarah, what are your thoughts on Sarah Ray versus Nisa?
Nisa.
Yeah.
I have no thoughts.
No thoughts?
She obviously she is trained by one of the best in the world. You know, Engen is a great person to be under. And she looked like Engen. Like when they put up that video of Engen doing the same thing where he just went like this, and she literally did the same exact move. I mean, that's what people don't understand. There are levels to this sport. Sarah could be the strongest, you know, the best arm wrestler in America, but there's levels. There's levels. And seeing that technique, and it's funny because Nisa was like, yeah, I messed up a lot and all this stuff, and I'm like, what do you look like when you're not messing up?
Right.
Like, how is that even possible? But those, you know, those women over there, they train. And that's the thing. Like, Americans arm wrestle, they train.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, you know, props to Sarah. She, you know, got to be on a big stage like that. That's huge, you know.
It's hard, especially if you're not used to being on a stage like that too. It's hard because that's the first thing you think about is, you know, the lights, the being on that stage, you know, all these people watching you, everything. I mean, that beats you up.
Well, I mean, have you seen Turkey nationals or like just the own Turkey's little or their inter-country arm wrestling? Have you ever seen one of their tournaments? Have you ever seen what they look like? Dude, Google Turkey arm wrestling tournaments. They probably have, I would imagine, I want to say between 5,000 and 10,000 competitors.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. So think about it. The person who wins that, they're just like when you win in Kazakhstan. With the people that represent Kazakhstan for Team Kazakhstan, they've already beat an array of elite arm wrestlers to get to that spot. Yeah. And that's what people, but I'm saying, but that's what people aren't considering. Like if she's been on such a bigger stage because the like I said, Google what Turkey nationals look like. It's incredible, man.
Well,
it's awesome.
They're like in this stadium,
like a stadium, yeah.
And they have thousands upon thousands of just competing for that one spot. And
there's like 50 tables.
She's like 8-time national champion or something like that. Like not saying that Sarah isn't an amazing arm wrestler, because Sarah is. Sarah's a great arm wrestler. You know, she's very fundamentally strong and everything like that. And seeing somebody do that to Sarah.
But I'm saying, like, even if Sarah or you girls, everybody the level of competition that they have access to is so much different than us.
So much more.
You know what I mean? Because you figure in America, like, we go state per state, but we're still in America. You know what I mean? Yeah. They can go state per state distance, but you're now training with the Georgian team. Now you're with the Romanian team. You're with the Ukrainian team, the Polish team, and they're all different cultures. We're all still American. Like, we either top roll like Travis Bajan or we top roll like John. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, but you know, or we hook like Todd, or we hook like, you know, John. But and everyone's like kind of a byproduct of all that kind of shit. And well, Dave Patton. I'm sorry, but you know it. But over there, they're exposed to so many different cultures and training styles and this and that. It's how do you duplicate that? Yeah. I'm not saying if Americans can't win. Paul Lynn, Todd Hutchins, all these guys are proof positive that you can train and get to the highest level. But it's not that they're the exceptions. It's hard for us because of the level of competition.
Sarah and I were even talking about after the Kringle Pull, like, I can stand up there in front of all those people and just be scared out of my wits, you know, like, you just kind of forget everything you're going to do. But then, like, after the after pull, I was like, hey, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I accomplished everything that I wanted to do at the after pull, you know? So it is just, it's that you have to keep doing the tournaments or get that training in because you're not used to being up there. Like you said, Jason, like she was just not used to that. Yeah, and I know she came off the sickness too. She's been sick for so long. So, you know, you have to give her that too, that.
Oh, again, I'm so proud of her and everything. It was awesome. Good for her.
Overseas, like I instantly messaged her. I was like, don't take this as a negative. You got to go to overseas. You got to like take it as a positive. Yes, you lost, but you know where you can get stronger. You know where you can come back and show I can do this. I am supposed to be there. And that's what I told her. I instantly messaged her. I was like, I am so proud of you for the fact that you went over there.
I was like you suck.
It's amazing. But that match was
again,
it was awesome.
Kane said the same thing earlier in the conversation. You're like, dude, I went up there and all the same things I teach people every Sunday. You get up there and all of a sudden, like, what happened to that version of me? You know, and some people can flip the switch. What like I was gonna say I don't want to brag, but that's all I kind of fucking do about myself because I'm awesome. But the reality is I was in rehearsals like my whole life as a performer. I was terrible in rehearsals, like terrible. Like I was like the last person to like learn this choreography, the last thing, and I felt like I just wasn't good at rehearsals. I have a plethora of reasons why I thought that, but I was always the guy that's like, dude, put me on stage. I'll shine when I'm on stage. Yeah, but you didn't do the thing right the whole time. Put me on stage. And I don't know, there's just something happens to me and I love it. I love it. The pressure of that kind of feeling. Like I discussed with you though, Kane, right now, I don't have that. I don't have that love to go and feel that way right now. And it's just true. I just don't. But my 27 years of my life, I was under that pressure every single day to go out and perform to thousands of people. And it is. And to do the same thing over and over, sing this song, don't mess up, don't hit a bad note, and then hit a bad note one day and you're like, shit, fuck, now the next time I do that song, whatever, am I going to remember my lines? Am I going to do that? Oh, there's rain, but we have to do. But I loved and lived for that pressure. But I love arm wrestling. But it's like for me right now too, it's like I just enjoy kind of watching her, because we even said, like, we were talking about, she made a post about competing at WAF, and I want to personally compete with IFA. But we were saying it's kind of a good thing because it's very difficult when we're both getting ready together, especially if we're both cutting weight. I'm like, I tell her at the beginning of the week, I'm like, fucking by Wednesday, I'm going to hate you. I'm so sorry. I love you so much. But, and then she's like, and we're like, if we're both cutting weight, and then we're like if one of us isn't, we've always had our best events when the other person isn't competing. Yeah. But she's just there to be like, I love you. You're awesome. Hey, do the thing. But she can't give me advice when she's thinking about, I got to make sure Haley's going to do, so I'm going to try to continue. And I get it. But when I'm like, Sarah, hey, Sarah, what are we doing? Circle hitter. She's always won. I've always won. We've not done our best when we competed in the same events.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pressure. Like, and especially going overseas and competing, it's a lot of pressure. And I can't imagine what, Sarah was going through. Right. And I'm sure it could be closer if Nisa came here.
Yeah, travel.
It could be a closer match. Travel and all that stuff, it's different. But I mean, she did amazing. Both of them did. I have so much respect for both of them.
Is her spirits pretty up after that one? Or are they, is she in okay spirits after that? But
I know from what I've heard, yeah, she's, Sarah will go back. This is the thing about Sarah. She will go back and she will train her butt off, and she will prove to everybody that she's supposed to be there. That's just how Sarah is.
Yeah, you mentioned
her butt off and come back and be like, told you.
For sure. Yeah, you mentioned earlier, like the levels to this.
There are levels.
There's a lot of people that I've talked to that quit because of those. Because of levels. Yeah. once they realize those levels, you know, they get out to make the next step or whatever, and just see somewhat of a hopelessness or something, and they quit. And they tell me, they're like, oh, there's no way I'm ever gonna, you know, do this.
That's sad. That's sad.
But for me personally, the levels is kind of what excites me. I'd rather be a part of something that I know you can always chase. You know, you could always grow. And I don't want to be a part of something where I feel like I'm gonna, like, you know, top out easy and get bored and like throw it away. I like that this has just a very you know, interesting long path to it that's very, very complicated and dynamic. There was a lot of people that gave me shit 2.5 years into the sport or something when I did the 8-man round robin with Roman Gromoff in Oklahoma. Yeah, it was incredibly, like, stupid if I thought I was gonna, you know, go there and beat Roman. I was gonna try, but my main motivation to go to Oklahoma and pull a lot of those pretty good 165s was just to feel it, you know. Like I wanted to feel what that was like, you know. And how am I going to get better if I don't know what a Roman Gromoff feels like, you know?
Yeah.
And take the opportunity, you know, afterwards to after pull and talk to the guy and everything like that. So I think that stuff's awesome.
Completely.
That was my exact mindset going to Virginia for that East versus West event.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it out of this alive, but I'm going to go. I need to test out all these ladies from different countries. It was amazing to see all the different ladies from different states, and all the way down from Brazil too. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that you actually went and you were like, I'm going to go. I love it.
Thankfully, I raised the money to go out there so that I was able to fly out there and do the event. And
amazing.
Caleb went out there too, and it was a whole hell of a lot of fun. The whole event, meeting John Brz, that was my first time I met John Brzink too. So super hyped about that.
Yeah, I mean, you did a show with us on the road when you went to go do that too.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You did a show with us when you were like on the road to go to that too.
Yeah, I did. That was the first time I was on the show, huh?
It might have been. Yeah.
I think so.
I mean, what did you girls think about that match, the King of the Table one?
I was shocked because I trained with Sarah over the summer, and she's an absolute wall.
Really?
So she's a beast. And then seeing Nisa's hand, just that, I was like, oh wow, that really happened. It's incredible. What about you, Haley?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. You know, I have to give props for Sarah for just trying, because as many times as she was in and out of the hospital the last few months, you know, she's not at top level, but she showed up and she put her heart into it, and we have to give her props for that. But yeah, those girls over there are just a whole nother level. So you have to do what you can.
Yeah, and that's interesting that did you get to pull ever with Sarah as well, Haley?
I think I pulled her a little bit. She came to the Brzink Cup last year. We had like a ton of girls. That was a great tournament last year at the Brzink Cup in Utah. And that's the first time I met her there.
Okay.
So, but I know she's, you know, training a lot more and has done a lot since then.
Yeah. Yeah, because what you said, Grace, in terms of like I felt Sarah, you know, and for Nisa to do that, that's a trippy thing about this sport, because I feel like you can see somebody that you don't know, like on some video, or you watch some tournament in some place, and you'd be like, I'd beat that person. Like, why are they so strong? But if you have context, it completely changes everything, you know.
Yeah, it's very impressive. But she has one of the best coaches, so
Yeah.
But again, it's the thing too, is if American style arm wrestling is so load heavy, and the thing is, if you cannot train one, you can train unloaded or went with load and adjust, but you can't do the other way around. And if we ever grip up, and like I've told this story before, like it's, you know, because I started arm wrestling in 2001. And my with the Jacksonville team, and in Jacksonville, Florida, and you know, I was introduced to sport then. I had success right away. You know, I was whatever. I got out of the sport from, like I said, 17 years. Was because of the reasons, but my main one because when my dad passed away, and then going into the circus and doing hand balancing, my wrists were supposed to be like this, and arm wrestling were supposed to be like this, and I was losing my mobility. My ability to do my act. Anyway, so, you know, I got back into the sport in 2018, and that's when Sarah started in Singapore. And I remember getting on the table with these guys for the first time, like small dudes, and, you know, like, Kazakhstan, where the fuck is that, you know? And or Singapore, or, you know, these Russian people come to you. Singapore, you know, is a port city, so it's like very, you know, like Vegas, a lot of tourists, a lot of transient people. And I remember like going like, you know, like going to pull, and they're just like, as soon as I give load, their elbow would come off, you know. And then next thing I know, it was just like, okay, that's your rep script. I felt nothing. You do this, you're like, what, dude? You're moving in a rep script. You feel nothing, everything. And I was just like, holy shit, what is this? And it changed everything, because my idea of arm wrestling was Travis Bajan style top rolling, you know, high posting knuckles, everything, you know, high side. That was my thing. And then I learned like all this stuff, being exposed to all these different people, and I was like, holy shit, dude, this is like, we do this thing like tug of war in gym class. This is like broken down like fucking jujitsu to me, you know, and that was the difference. And you know, this is how we train, and this is what we do it. And I'm like, damn, all right, shit, you know, this sport. And again, it made the sport kind of like what you said, Kane, compelling to me again, because I was like, who can beat me in arm wrestling? I'm really good at it. Oh wait, 155-pound Chinaman just cracked me in half. Oh shit, what? And I didn't run away from it. It made me fall in love with the sport again, because I was like, dude, I think I might suck. And I thought it was really cool, you know, to get like, oh my God, this is the level. Like, you could be literally, you know, 70 kilo, 154-pound kids over there, man. They're so strong.
They're so strong.
Dude.
They're so strong.
So they're good, man. People are like, oh, Asia, aren't those guys really little? Dude, those Singapore boys would come over here and whoop most of your team. And, you know, some of the big guys, oh, dude, killers. Because not only are they strong, I'm talking like dudes doing like pull-ups, like full range pull-ups with like 4 plates.
Oh,
you
wow.
know? I'm not kidding. Like 70, like my buddy Josh K, you look him up on Instagram. He does pull-ups like damn whatever those, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z guys, you know?
Single arm.
Yeah, holding himself with like here with a fucking kettlebell in this arm, doing this shit like that. Yeah. And then you talk about how fast they are, dude. So, like I said, it's not surprising to me. The match went exactly how I thought it would be. I watched Sarah's style. I like Sarah. Like I said, cheap, but you can tell a lot of load, a lot of trying to like get in. And if you can't do that with someone who's just deadpanning you, and all of a sudden, by the time Sarah even would realize she was in the match, it was over. It was over. Like, there's no way you can turn on muscles like that if you're not used to training that way. Yeah. You know, so. I get it, you know. That's
what Lee Aaron told me too. The first time she went to WAF, or was it Zloty or WAF?
WAF. Oh, this is overseas WAF, yeah.
Whatever one she did, she was like, I could not feel anybody.
Yeah, but she said it's what leveled her up.
That's what made her who she is today. Going over there and feeling how they feel. Like they feel like nothing, and then everything. And that's what she's like, those girls are who made me who I am today.
But it's the same reason why you'll never see Devin, and that's the big, great Devin Larrick controversy. Is Devin amazing for the sport? Yes, his personality, he's strong, he's all these things, he's all those things. But from the purest sense, and that's why he gets that love-hate relationship. You'll never see Devin compete in WAF because he cannot deal with that. If Ermies and Devin pull under WAF rules or Prudnick and Devin rule, I'm talking strict, no, like this. You think Devin Larratt stops those guys before they flash pin them to the pad? Man, yeah, okay, you're right. There's a reason that Devin is doing Devin's rules in all of his tournaments, and they keep changing the rules. Auto strap, no loading. They're telling Ermin Devin's under the table doing that. Like, hey, maybe it's you guys are right. Maybe it's if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But under the right rule sets or a arm wrestling rule set, the Olympics of arm wrestling, none of that would happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know who's right. The purist in me or the guy who wants to see entertainment. The entertainment side is over here, and then the other side is like the angel and the devil. And I get them both. I love them both. So, but it's tough, it's all the things that make it tough to legitimize the sport.
Yeah.
Some matches are put under WAF rules. Some matches are under, King of the Table 9 rules where it's weird, man, the fouls, the this, the that.
And that's hard as an arm wrestler too, because you can get used to doing one thing, which Sarah is so used to doing that load, but over there they don't.
Right.
So, you can see Nisha will just lift her elbow.
Mm-hmm. But the 2 matches later, you got 2 guys doing that like crazy. So,
but if you do what Sarah's used to, Sarah could potentially win that match. So it's just how
the rule set would change.
It's the rule set. What people are used to.
I think that entertaining stuff is definitely the route that we're currently in to grow the sport. It's been the most effective thing to bring people in. But in terms of that versus the purist thing, I think in the long-term sense and the broad spectrum, it's going to be the purist form that actually grows the sport the way it needs to grow. Because I don't think that entertaining stuff's going to go anywhere. I think we're still going to have that, and I think it's still going to bring people in, certain types of productions and everything like that. It's the organization and unification of this sport that's going to make it, I feel like blow up and nationally, internationally recognized as a legitimate sport.
Yeah, see, I love it, but I completely disagree. If the sport stays under in something that appeals to a small majority of people, can't grow a sport. It's just basic economics. You can't grow something out of nothing, and it all, yes, can the sport grow amongst itself? There's always going to be another Kane Fontecchio or a Jason Latona or whoever that love it and like, dude, I'm down with your language, brother. But in order to grow something, you have to make it appeal to something that a niche set of people thinks it's cool. Mm-hmm. Could you be right? It's possible. But just statistically, it isn't, And if you just look at the way basic statistics work and, how to grow this or how to grow that, it just doesn't work. You have to get outside of the demographic and you have to listen to your audience, wherever that audience is. If that audience says, we love, hillbilly WWE style, guys bet after the match is over, they break the table and eat it. Guess what? Eventually, that's what the sport will be. Mm-hmm. But it's been this pure thing that it's been for a long time, and there's a reason why the WAFs on the World Arm Wrestling Champions are on YouTube for free with at any given time 31 people watching.
I mean, if you think about it too, that's what happened with Power Slap and Slap Fight. It kind of comes from, MMA and things like that. Power Slap has more views than UFC.
No, that's not true. Power Slap has more. The algorithm of Power Slap has more views than UFC, NFL, NHL, NBA. Am I missing anything? Combined.
All of them. Yeah.
Combined. And the algorithm of Power Slap is off the fucking charts. Why? Because what did Haley just say earlier? You think I'm not paying attention to you, Haley, because you got cute kids. I'm paying attention to you. But Haley said, I forgot what I was going to fucking say. No, Haley said I fast forward to the highlights when she's watching arm wrestling. Slap fighting or power slap is nothing but highlights. highlight. The event, the thing is a highlight.
Yeah.
This is how you grow arm wrestling, by making it a highlight.
Just that.
An instant, boom, red line, and right from the start. You know, like I said, maybe I'm wrong, but there's no way to make it more complicated, pure style, and make it more appealing. Like I've said it before.
I agree, but I think we're talking about different ball games though at the same time.
Maybe.
Because like, okay, so slap fighting, you know, are we talking views? You know, because if that's what we're talking about, then yeah, I get it. It's got that audience, but is it recognized as a professional sport in the same way as those other sports that it is beating out in terms of views? So that's why I feel like there's two important facets here. I think that the entertainment value is important, but in the same sense that, you know, people, so NFL is huge. Baseball is huge. And they have these entire sports where we still do run highlight reels of them. And, you know, people might only watch certain portions of them, but it's that organization of those sports to me that also makes it recognized as something that is professional, that can be, you know, put on an actual network, if that makes sense. You know, that an entire world can get behind.
But I'm simply talking about, we're talking about
WAF thing.
I'm just saying,
right.
bare bones of growing the sport. No, mathematically, you cannot argue mathematics. Not you can argue if you want to, but you can't argue mathematics because it's always, it's not an opinion. 1 + 1 is always 2. You know, unless you're, I guess, from California and you're liberal, 1 + 1 can be like fucking 6. Who fucking knows? But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But the point is you can't argue that. I'm simply saying, if you're growing a sport, the statistics are in the mathematics of the algorithm, what a sport like power slap's doing. That part isn't debatable, is what I'm saying. I'm just talking about how do you grow a sport. Highlights and because of the pace of the sport, you have to sit down to watch a football game, right? So this is where something like arm wrestling actually kind of has an advantage, because it can be done right now. Here we go, 2 guys, here it is. The thing about why UFC is so interesting compared to every other sport. Hey, babe.
Sorry, we got to put kids to bed, so I got to peace out, you guys.
Hey,
Hope you guys have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks for
Good
hanging
night,
out.
Good night, Haley.
Okay, bye.
But like, what was I saying? You have okay, you have UFC. What makes it different than every other sport? I ask people this all the time. Well, it's exciting. Is it? No. Because you have to pay attention to every single second, because the fight can be over in 5 seconds. Basketball, you got 4 quarters. Or 3 periods. Sorry, 3 periods. Football, you got 4 quarters. Hockey, 3 periods. Those things have to play out. You can go take a shit, eat sandwich, come back, whatever. What's the score? 3-3. UFC, unlike every other sport, you have to watch it from the beginning, because it can be over like that. And you have to watch the entirety, because we can see a fight where the last 30 seconds of the 5th round, guy gets a knockout. The guy was losing the fight the whole time. Oh shit! If it's the 4th quarter in football and it's Vikings 38, Raiders 2, you don't want to watch the last 15 minutes. You know it's mathematically impossible to lose. So, but what am I getting at? You have a thing with arm wrestling that potentially can be like the UFC. How do we do it? 1-round matches. What the fuck? But does the guy go in UFC? Boom, knockout. Get up, dude. Let's do it for 3 more fucking times. A knockout happens as soon as the guy gets pinned. No, sure, there's 3 rounds in the fight, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying to do this. Please, this is not like, oh my God, Jason Latona said 1-round match. No, but I'm talking about minimalizing to make it exciting. Imagine you're amped up. I'm amped up. We got 1 round to go at it. The stakes are way higher. High stakes, people getting hurt, people watch. I'm not saying it's good. but I'm just throwing something out there. You know
That's
what I mean?
why people like Power Slap.
Yeah, I kind of compare super matches and those entertaining super matches to UFC or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms of the tournament format, that's when I feel like we're kind of there's a lot of similarities between that and say a football game or a baseball game because you
Oh, sure.
Oh,
turn
yeah.
it off and wait till the end, wait till the final, skip through
Sure.
and that. But that's more the organized version of the sport as well. And the part of the math that doesn't add up for me for that, maybe at one time WAF was the go-to in terms of the world stage, but there's just a lot of disconnection right now. So it's hard to do the math in terms of
Yeah, but even IFA,
organization
look
of
at
our
IFA.
sport right now, you know.
Look how many Devin can have more. Devin can put Devin can put a video of him making a peanut butter sandwich and have more views than IFA Nationals and WAF Worlds put together.
Yeah.
So if you think growing the sport by making it tournament style is going to work, please, I got some real estate I can sell you, Kate.
It's
Give
the
me
same
that peanut butter sandwich.
It's the same thing that happens with jujitsu. Nobody's gonna watch a jujitsu tournament.
No,
but they
this
100% watch Eddie Bravo's where it's like 4 guys.
So to me, we're talking like backdoor stuff. Like, okay, so do I think that tournament style is going to bring in views and grow the sport in that way? No, I think it's going to give the sport legitimacy if there was a unification and organization in that realm. What I think is going to grow the sport is, of course, the exciting stuff and then all the social media, you know, characters and stuff that I'm so out of touch with now. I get that. That's the entertaining stuff that's going to bring people in. But to me, there also has to be a foundation if it's going to be recognized as a growable sport.
Yes, that's just so tough, man. I agree with you.
I agree with you too.
But it's so tough because, like I said, the thing that makes most, you know, our sport what it is the thing that also is the catch-22. It's the thing that also makes it boring to people who don't do it.
Right.
You know, it really is. The same with jiu-jitsu. The chess match is jiu-jitsu in the highest level black belts. It looks like 2 guys laying on top of each other, not doing anything because it's so high level. You know, and no one wants to watch it. Even other jiu-jitsu guys are like, yeah, dude, it's fucking this guy gets in the gi. Man, I don't care. Tell me who won. You know, it's sad.
Watch the highlights.
But I also, off the top of my head, I don't know any kind of format that gets built over, like you're talking about legitimacy. And I'm not disagreeing with you, but what I'm saying is I don't know any other format that uses a tournament style thing as its ultimate
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know of any.
Right.
You can make an
I
argument.
don't know if that's good or a bad thing.
You know, it's a tournament style, but
right.
It's after the game's played, and you know what I'm saying? Again, here's where I'd love to see a tournament. I'd love to see, wouldn't you guys love to see a tournament where Devin, Levon, Hermes, all in that same tournament?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm watching that thing. Why? Because I know everybody. But you can't build a sport off a tournament because the sports are actually built off the people.
Right.
What's more popular, UFC or Conor McGregor?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
It's tough because it's a combat sport, and when you know you're dealing with a mess of people and you want to know who the number one is, that's where the tournament format comes into play.
It would be cool as shit, wouldn't it?
Everybody down to one.
Yeah.
But it is difficult. But Josh and I have talked about the whole team thing a lot. Maybe that's the future of the sport is teams.
I talked about it too with Chan Shaw.
Yeah. I think it's a great thing having the different teams. I loved seeing the different California teams going at it. Like, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, because you've got some of the root behind. You know,
Yeah.
if I may not know Kane Fontecchio or Grace Bear or whoever, but if they're representing San Bernardino or a team,
I'm gonna go for that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, it makes it it gives you something to root for. I was talking to Chance about it. I was just like, we could be the, you know, Vegas Vaginas against the Florida Fly Traps, and like, and I said, you know, like in dodgeball where they walk out like, I'm like, you guys the fly traps, you guys can walk out like this. Guys, we can walk out like this. So it's just spitballing.
So I don't know if it would be through like, say, all the California teams, face off, and then by the championship or something, or if you're just taking the state champions who are the top whatever from the state championship.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it in that organized way.
Me
Now
too.
those top guys and girls have to go against this state, almost like the NFL or baseball. They've got all their top. To me, I relate it to like you got your high school teams, and then you got college ball, then you got semi-pro, and then you got the pros, and there's usually 1 or 2 pro teams per state, and that they go through this process, get the best of the best. Now we go against this state, and there's your brackets, or your at least you're whittling down to nothing. How many wins does your state have? And you kind of figure out who the top dogs are in the nation that way.
Or you literally put a list of, the top guys in the state and go, all right, now this state, vote who you want to represent your state.
Yeah.
But then you have everybody voting and going, I want this person, I want this person. So it dwindles down to, you could have like 2 or 3 people from each state, but the state is the one who votes for them.
Interesting.
And then you have the different states going against each other.
There's ways to do it.
And then you do like the West versus the South versus the North versus the East. So then you break it down to that. And you have those teams going against each other, kind of like East versus West, similar to that. But it makes it more exciting.
Well,
and you can get behind
as long as you have some people to relate to. That's the biggest thing.
and
Relatability.
you can, and that's the biggest thing that UFC did. I know we keep bringing it back to UFC, but when UFC did that and they started putting out shows where you get to know the fighter, you get to know their past, you get to know where they come from, you start feeling for that person. That's what grew UFC.
Yeah.
That's what made UFC huge, is when people started understanding what they went through, how their training was.
But that's what Devin gets right.
And that's what Devin gets. Exactly.
Devin puts a picture of his opponent, good or bad, and says, you're going to want me to win, or you're going to want me to lose. Devin knows what he's doing. He's smart as shit. Devin's a cool guy, but he's doing it on purpose because he knows you're going to tune in, whether you want to see him win or you want to see him lose. Dude, I hope fucking Devin wins for Canada. He's the greatest Canadian ever. Dude, fuck that Canadian guy. I hope he gets his arm broken. You're watching. That's all. This the best guys, the best promoters. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather, Muhammad Ali. They're saying shit that makes you want either love this guy or want to see. Travis Page did it. I like talking shit like that. But it's like you want to see him win or you want to see him lose. Tuning in, but you want to see him.
Boils your blood or makes you want to be a part of it.
But you want to see him.
Be an enemy or a hero. So for real, going around today, who would be the baddest state in the country if they all faced off today?
I don't have that kind of day.
I don't know, but I know California has a lot of arm wrestlers.
I'm putting my money either on Texas or somewhere on the East Coast for sure.
But the East Coast has those farmer boys, and they've had strength since they were 3.
I mean, look at like Mississippi.
Are you talking like Oklahoma?
Yeah.
No, I'm like New York and
that's not farmer boys. That's farmer boys.
Josh, what do you think?
But that's not New York.
And they were all farmer boys
in
Michigan.
You said New York.
100%. Those eastern states, 100%. The North.
They're not farmers.
Yeah.
A poll real quick.
California is loaded with farmers. In fact, the majority of the state is farmland and mountain land and desert land.
Where in New York?
That's true. We don't have anything.
We got little cities that make up a small percentage of it. called Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego.
I think it's still the same triangle that it's been for a while. I agree with New York. I think Florida's in there, and then California. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm here, but per capita, the number of high-level guys that we have here is a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I was saying. When it comes to per capita, I would say California.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I think everybody's right. There is those like country strong, like I don't know. There seems to be one or two outliers in a lot of these other states, East and the Midwest. But in terms of their overall competitive population, you know, California, I think, is who has that. We've got the most competitive arm wrestlers that can, you know, make a you know,
that's for the guys, right?
What's that?
That's for just the guys, right?
No.
Ladies,
well, and it just depends on who we're factoring in. You know, if we could coax Nancy back in the pot.
Where does Dot Jones live? Where does Dot Jones live? Dot Jones. Where does she live? Wherever she lives is where the baddest females at in North America for sure.
I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Merlene is.
You ever seen the movie Boondock Saints?
Yeah, Dot Jones is massive.
Yeah.
Yes.
You ever seen the movie? You know the rule of thumb lady in the beginning? That's Dot Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's never beaten North America.
Wait, where was she at? Wasn't she in like the Northeast?
I don't know.
I don't know exactly.
No clue. I wouldn't even anything I said. She Oklahoma, sure. Fucking Montana, sure. I don't know if I can do Dot Jones.
Oklahoma has some stronger ladies. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It's just California is just lacking in the female department.
So is that?
Yeah, but you're just talking again per capita. You know what I mean? You
still might have more.
Like Nevada's got like 2 places, you know. Then and the rest is like 6 people live there, you know.
Throughout
like
Nevada.
You know, but like places like just the density of somewhere
Reno
like
and Vegas.
Yeah, but and the rest of the state's nothing.
Nevada.
But like the just the density, like population of New York, just California, New York, and Texas, you have to think they're the top 3.
Yeah.
Then after that would be Florida. Just on population and density.
Yeah.
But do I think those places, and like I said, where's Dustin High, Mississippi? Like that's the baddest dude.
Yeah.
That's the baddest dude.
The blue collar states.
Those
are the ones
maybe under 200 pounds.
Yep.
Like, dude, I mean, like even throwing Artem in there, like right-handed dude. Like you saw Artem and Dustin, dude. Like, dude, Dustin is crazy strong, dude. Crazy. Like I'd love to see Dustin and like Oleg Moise. No matter the weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Dustin and
I mean, I think if Oleg has to cut to 85 and Dustin walks around like 82, but Oleg had to cut it because he's bigger. I favor Dustin. Like I fucking on Oleg's jock. I mean, I'm just saying Dustin's that strong.
He couldn't catch Oleg's hit.
Wow.
I don't think Dustin. I think it's the other way around. I think it's the other way around. I felt both of them, and I know where I'm at with Ole. And when I pull Dustin, I'm like, I don't feel strong.
Yeah, but Ole is much better on the left hand. So are we talking about left hand or right hand?
Oh, right hand. I mean right hand.
Right.
Yeah. See, so I mean that is kind of different with Ole because Ole's left is what's at a crazy level.
Yeah. Again, I'm just saying he was someone I think is awesome.
No, I know.
That's what I'm saying. I think
just
when I think of someone who's awesome at under 2 or around 200, I think Oleg. You know, like I'm just saying I think Dustin's that good.
The last Monster Factory that we were at, we literally watched Dustin hold a guy that was like,
what's his name? Fuck that 400-pound dude. It's on Monster Factory.
Kid, he's like 19 or something like that. He literally just held him.
Yeah.
Like in a defensive pose, just like this.
Like that.
And he
And the dude
was
was
putting
pressing.
pressing down on Dustin's arm. And Dustin was just doing this.
Dude, he's different.
It was
He's different. Like,
it was like just watching him do that. I was like, oh, where is this kid?
I know I lost to Jake Houston in East vs. West qualifier. He was the only person to beat me. Jake got first, I got second on both arms. Jake was the only person. I know how strong I am. I know how strong Jake is. Look what Jake just did or Dustin did to Jake at Monster Factory.
He's on a completely different
Look
level.
what Jake did to Kevin Palco. Right-handed, he made Kevin Palco not look like he was even there. And then look what Dustin did to Jake. Dude, people don't. I mean, I feel bad for Dustin because he went to East vs. West. Again, I think he had a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of people in his corner, and I think pressure, the travel, maybe weight cut, whatever. I don't think, you saw a great version, unfortunately. And then props to that Italian dude, Ermi's partner. He looked amazing. He just did the same thing and looked amazing. And but Dustin's that good. All people are going to know is that Morning Arm Wrestling is how badass he is.
Yeah.
Ed Bedrosian wants to know.
Kid too.
Yeah. How about Vrej? Ed asks.
Oh.
Vrej and who?
Dustin?
Yeah, Vrej and Dustin, but then again, that's the same thing,
Yeah, Vrej is left hand.
Left.
Yeah. Right-handed, I think Dustin.
Yeah.
Left-handed, Vrej.
All the way. I mean, Vrej can literally do every single class and just
left hand. Nobody's talking.
Nobody can beat Vrej left. Like Vrej almost beat Devin left.
But I actually would like to see Vrej and Daniel Prokopic left-handed.
I would love to see that.
Ooh.
Because I think that is insane. Like, how long does it go? Forever? Like, you know what I mean?
How much does Prokopchik weigh, though? I mean, is he a lot lighter, or?
Prokopchik, Vrej can make 76. They can do it at 80 kilos. Yeah. And 80's but I mean, definitely Prokopchik, Daniel's the smaller dude. Vrej probably walks around 85, but 83, 85, I would say Vrej walks around.
Vrej just beat Luke right-handed. I think he did at the World Series.
He definitely did, bro, which was pretty.
And Luke
is different, man.
Dustin too, I believe, at Arnold's.
Yeah. Again, but the way Dustin leveling up and the way Luke can possibly, Luke's at his peak. You know what I mean?
Luke is coming like this. I mean, he's old. Not older, but I mean, he's our age, a few years older, and he's, several kids. He, does his thing with his cars. He's not all in like he was. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
He kind of just comes and shows up, at a couple of the big ones, and that's it.
Yeah, I think
still,
Luke would probably
crazy.
be I think even Luke would probably say, like Dustin now might, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I'd like to see the rematch again because this Dustin. His ceiling is he's so young. Dustin is the athlete that everyone's talking about in the sport. What if that NFL player, that MLB pitcher, what if they decided instead of using that genetic power for, football or baseball, what if they arm wrestled? That's who Dustin Hyatt is.
That's Dustin.
In my opinion. Dustin Hyatt is the kid that could be an all-star pitcher or all-star quarterback that decided to arm wrestle. That's what He's built different.
He's the all-American athlete.
He's built different. His mind's different. Built different. His hand is the size of Fisher's, man.
Really? He looks like a damn Ken doll, bro. Jesus Christ.
Hand's the size of Fisher's. His forearm looks like Oleg Jacques, the way his tendon anatomy is.
Like, I put my hand up to his hand and he did this.
I have big hands, and
hand.
His hands like wrap around you like that, like Fisher, but thicker than Fisher.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's on another level.
And
it's ridiculous.
This is so crazy, freaky, man. That is freaky strong, freaky.
He's real young, ain't he?
23.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking.
dude,
whatever he
all
wants.
people are gonna know is how good he is. I mean, dude, like I said, Jake Houston is no joke. Like I said, he beat me. I'm the fucking who fucking beat me? Like, you know what I mean? Like he probably had kryptonite in his fucking pocket. But Jake's good, man. You saw, like I said, what Jake did to me. Jake did to Kevin Palco. Take me on it. Kevin Palco and Dustin just ran over.
Easy.
And I'm friends with Jake. I talk to Jake all the time. I was like, how do you feel? Jake's like, dude, I feel good, dude. I know my lane. His lane is Dustin's kryptonite, supposedly. Look what he did with that.
Have you pulled with Palco?
Have I? No, I never pulled Kevin yet. I have a good idea how I think it would go. But yeah, I've never pulled Kevin.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Kane, I gotta go. So.
Oh, you got a cut?
I gotta go. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for coming on, man.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, I think we will be
Johnny
up here.
Yeah, I'm about to get out too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody in the chat. A couple people that were popping in. I just want to say thank you, Parker, Condettiero, and yeah, everybody else we've been talking to in the chat, Ed, Benji, Johnny, Todd, and thank you guys for spending the time with us, Jason, Sarah, Grace, and as always, Josh. And this show was brought to you by Sunkiss.
Dude, how upset that would it be if you get email from Sunkiss with a check for like 40 grand? Dude,
That'd be great.
That fucking idiot on there. Dude, we can't get a hold of him, but we want to give you 40 on behalf of Sunkiss.
That's our funds for our all strap match.
Our
all strap tournament. All strap tournament. Let's go. We gotta set that up.
All right, well let's get that Sunkiss money. Hold the Sunkiss up, and everybody give a good thumbs up.
Or you get sued by Sunkiss. And like, dude, actually, we had the money for the strap tournament, but Sunkiss sued me, and I owe him 60 grand.
Yeah, that's probably more like how it's gonna go down.
Close so far. We love you guys.
All right, good night.
Have a great night, everybody.